Hello, everyone. As usual, would you yell at us if I am too loud or they are too soft or vice versa? Hi again, Squeezy. Cat Dad is obviously here. Woof. Yes. Backwin, say something so we can check the levels. Okay, that works. SJ?
Hello, hello.
Looks good. Cat Dad.
Hi, it's me, Cat Dad.
Cool. Yes, we can be heard. And we don't sound like robots, correct? Which is good. I restarted specifically to prevent that, but then again, you never know. Awesome. And as usual, like if as we get going, anyone sounds soft, let me know and I'll adjust the levels. Cool. So welcome everyone. We are, thanks Squeezy. We are playing a Mass Effect game. Now, caveat, there is in fact a Mass Effect hack of 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. And I know a team of people put a lot of love into that and did a very, very good job of translating Mass Effect mechanics into 5e. But we chose to use a different rule set. It's the modern age rule set by Green Ronin. Because it is inherently more cinematic and I think simpler. It's still relatively crunchy, like for those of you who have seen some of our Powered by the Apocalypse games. This is significantly more crunchy than that. It's a little bit more crunchy even than the Modifius 2D20 games like Star Trek, but it's still less crunchy, meaning you can just look at some basic rules and have a character sheet and play it and not have to reference a 300-page player's handbook to really be effective at playing, which is kind of one of the goals that we set with our games here. So that's the preamble. Before we get into the actual game itself, let's do what we always do, which is go around the table and have folks introduce themselves, where people can find them. And if you want to talk a little bit about your character, we have a bit of a motley crew for this one. So let's start at the top with Backwin.
Hi, yes, I'm Backwin. I can be found in places. My character is a Geth soldier who is mostly a robot.
Excellent. Does he want to be a real boy, though?
No.
I don't blame him. Awesome. Okay, clockwise. Let's go with Cat Dad.
I'm Cat Daddy Boo. You can find me on Twitch, Instagram, and Twitter under Cat Daddy Boo. On a little streaming hiatus myself right now, so for the time being, I'm pretty sure the only place you're going to find me is here on C+ content. I'm playing an L-Core Infiltrator, which is a rather large beast that is supposed to be stealthy. This is what it looks like. So yeah.
Yeah, like 8 feet tall, quadrupedal, real weird, very slow. Yeah, they talk very strangely, but you're super stealthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not really. It's fine. And let's wrap up with the SJ.
SJ Sidekick. You can find me anywhere under the same username, SJ _sidekick, unless for whatever reason they don't allow underscores, then it'll just be SJ Sidekick. So Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, wherever. My character is a Drell Vanguard. So if you don't know who the Drell are, they're kind of like the reptilian looking ones in Mass Effect that live on the same planet as these guys.
Love it.
The Hanar, the big stupid jellyfish.
Yes. Excellent. Cool. And I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael or DM or GM or narrator or keeper or whatever the system requires. I think in the system it's technically GM, but whatever. I run a bunch of silly games and some very cool games, mostly here. And also I get to play occasionally, like on Duckworks channel. And I also run a longstanding, actually we're on the second season of our longstanding Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign over at the Juices TV program and on the Licity channel every Sunday. So I do a lot of this stuff and have a good time doing it. Yes, as I was saying before, this is a somewhat, I mean, it's Mass Effect, right? But think Mass Effect 3. Like, there are those moments of lightheartedness and comedy, and specifically because of Cat Dad's choices, I'm going to guess there's going to be a little bit of comedy relief in this one too. But the overall premise is that the Citadel Council, basically the ruling body of the civilized galaxy, has always, or for a very long time, had agents called Spectres. These are military, they are infiltration, they are diplomats, they are fixers, they are the Swiss Army knife, and effectively the special forces of the military that protects civilized space. But some things have happened in the past several years. One is that one of the most respected Spectres, a man named Saren, was revealed to be working with an enemy. That enemy was, at the time, thought to be, in fact, the Geth, who are a robot race bent on the destruction of all organics, sort of. We learn more later. But there was a very public fall from grace of one of the most famous and most respected Spectres. Then the Citadel let a human in, which wasn't all that cool with a lot of other people. And he rapidly became kind of a media darling. Did some allegedly kind of cool stuff, or it could have been a she. We don't know whether it's male shep or fem shep. So they became a super awesome star, recorded a bunch of commercials for like every shop on the Citadel, and are now incapable of going anywhere in the galaxy without being mobbed by fans or people that want to kill them. So the council has decided that the next wave of Spectres need to be more covert, less public in their activities, and as such have drawn recruits from unexpected sources. So that if someone were to say, hey, is that a Spectre? It's like, no, that's an Elcor. Elcors aren't Spectres, right? Or, oh, I wonder if that Geth is working on behalf of the Citadel Council. Probably not. It's probably here to kill everyone. So, and everyone knows Drell or Shady. So you have all collectively been, or individually, I should say, been recruited by an individual representing the Citadel Council, an Asari who goes by the codename Cerulean. You don't know their actual name. They have never been particularly clear on exactly what function they serve on or for the council, but they have presented themselves as effectively your recruiter and contact. I will say you have all been on at least a couple of missions before, individually. These were presented to you as with minimal context, just to go here, do a thing, or go over there and get that thing and put it in this box somewhere else. So very kind of cloak and dagger stuff, but that you are required to file reports, and your performance is evaluated on the basis of those reports and other kind of evidence that the council is gathering on you. And thus far, you have all performed admirably. So you all have quarters on the Citadel, whether it's a rental or whether you live there. I'm going to say Zortan almost certainly doesn't live on the Citadel because Elcor don't generally love leaving their homeworld unless you tell me differently.
I would say I hang out in the embassy, probably. Maybe I have housing at the embassy on the Citadel.
Excellent. So you near the embassy, you and your Volus roommate get to hang out and play Pinochle in the embassy district. So that's lovely. But you all have quarters. And I will say that it is Kirla who receives a communication in her apartment. It is encoded, and you recognize the transmission as coming from Cerulean. What is Kirla doing on a typical kind of Tuesday evening? Mute.
Thank you. Probably training. So probably hitting the gym. She hasn't been too much out of like Hanar space too often, so probably doing a lot of research, reading up on different cultures, different places around the galaxy, especially Citadel space, just to get familiar.
Okay. So you probably get a notification on your Omni tool that secure communication is waiting for you. So you hop out of the gym, head back to your apartment, and call up this transmission on the main screen. As you have learned before, you see a sort of a silhouette, clearly Asari. But then again, it could be anything. But the representation is clearly Asari, but it is backlit, and you can't quite see the features. So obviously they're trying to be a bit circumspect about being identified. And the voice has the telltale signature of being processed. So while it does appear to be an actual person, you would have a hard time identifying them. And probably to Drell, all Asari probably look alike anyway. But it's an extra layer of security. And Cerulean will greet you. Do you go by Kirla?
I would say a nickname is probably like Kier, but otherwise it could be Kirla, probably. I don't know. There's no canon for Drell Hanar
Right.
military, so it could be like Lieutenant Khan.
Okay, we'll do that. Lieutenant Khan, I hope I didn't pull you away from anything important.
Most important thing I could be doing.
Yes. Well, your performance on behalf of the council has been exemplary to date. And I'm pleased to let you know that we have a more advanced mission for you. Are you ready?
Of course.
Due to the nature of this mission, you will be working with 2 other recruits. You will know them because you will reference my code name and they will recognize it. I would like you to meet them in Dock 47.
Dock 47. Got it.
In 1 hour. Be prepared to depart the Citadel immediately. Transportation has been arranged. And
Understood.
you will receive further details of the mission en route.
Okay.
Cool. So, you have all now received, for Zortan and Phalanx, you received just effectively a text communication via your Omni tools to let you know that your next mission awaits in the docking bay and providing you with the same destination and time to meet. Other than that, you were given no details other than you will recognize each other because you will each recognize the codename Cerulean. Does anyone do anything in the intervening hour-ish before the timing of your meeting is set?
Packing list. Rule of thumb, always 3 days.
All right. So you gather up your equipment, check your weapons, etc. Does anyone? I would say you all have a modest number of credits. Is there anything that anyone would like to purchase? Some commandership or trading cards, some Hanar delicacies to snack on, given that you don't know how long you're going to be gone. Do any of you have friends and family aboard?
I
Yes.
definitely don't.
Don't ask for details because I haven't thought about this, but I would assume that I would because it seems like something an Elcor would.
Yes. So you have to say goodbye to your Volus roommate.
Right.
And tell them not to mess with your side of the room. And you probably check in with whoever the current ambassador is just to let them know that you'll be gone. You're going on a trip. I would say, Zortan, your cover is likely that you represent a trading house, trading in artwork or other kind of finished goods and cultural items, given that's what the Elcor are known for. So it's easy enough to communicate to the ambassador that, oh, well, you're going to go on a trade run. Someone's hired you as muscle or something, has hired you for being super stealthy and sneaky on a completely legitimate trade run. Phalanx probably has made lots of friends, I assume. Like you probably got some racquetball friends and some people that you hang out at the bar with. Phalanx goes dancing every Friday night. You haven't been taking ballroom dancing classes?
No, I don't even have quarters really. It's just more of a closet.
Yes, there's a place that you have been allocated that has had some sensor scattering equipment, so that curious people might not pick up a Geth energy signature and then start thinking, "Oh heck, there's a Geth on board. We should kill it." You probably have also learned this is a very multicultural environment, but you've probably also learned that covering yourself with synthetic fabrics as a way of disguising your physicality is a good way of moving from place to place without security stopping you. You are, however, authorized to be here.
Yeah, I'm just wearing a curtain that I found.
A shower curtain.
Sure.
It's covered in daisies. It does attract attention, but they just assume that you're some weird alien unless folks get up real close. So collectively, you make your way to the docking bay. And there's probably, 15 or 20 people here. There is kind of a bog standard cargo shuttle that is loading up for departure. And there are some humans and a Krogan, and maybe even there's the captain's probably an Asari. So there's an Asari who's directing them, and there's some humans and a Krogan loading boxes up. There are several other shuttles of various design, including an Alliance shuttle sitting there. So how are you going to find each other?
I'm ready. I'm ready for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
I'm
leaning
role-playing
against
it. I'm
the
going to
wall.
go nonchalantly. My favorite color is cerulean.
So everyone turns and looks at you. And the good news is everyone's just like, oh, it's an Elcor, whatever, probably drunk. And my guess is that Kirla, Lieutenant Khan, and Phalanx clearly recognize this extraordinarily stealthy cloak and dagger way of passing the code word. So what do you do?
I probably got here a little early. It was leaning against the wall, looking people, scoping them out, being like, that looks like somebody, that could be it. That looks like somebody. And then this Elcor comes up and says that. And I'm like, there's no way.
I'm so
But it
pleased
has
with
to be.
myself.
So and I walk up and I was like, and I'll just walk up and ask, what did you say?
It's going to be difficult for me to come up with the feeling words that they use, but quietly, I said my favorite color is cerulean.
Interesting. I have a friend with a similar name.
I think I am supposed to meet you and someone else here.
Why don't both of you give me a perception check? So that is 3d6 plus your perception bonus.
And do we have, is this separating the stunt die, or is it just 3d6?
It's always separating the stunt die, with the exception of damage. But whenever you're rolling a test, you always do the stunt die differently. It only really matters if the two non-stunt die double.
My 2 non-stunt dice doubled.
Oh, excellent. So what's your stunt die?
5, and my perception is 2.
So what is your total on the roll?
11.
All right. So you have generated 5 stunt points. We'll figure out what to do that in a second. But first, did Lieutenant Khan figure out what did you get on your perception roll?
I got a 2, 3, 2, and +1 to perception.
So 8.
So 8.
So
Well, you got 2 2s. Were those your non? Was
No,
one of
those are
your
the
stunt?
Yeah.
they weren't the matching ones.
Okay.
all right. So let us look at. There's a very large reference doc that we can refer to. This is going to be an exploration stunt. Or maybe infiltrate. No, it's definitely exploration, or potentially social. I'm gonna say, yeah, social, because this is not really a
Okay.
combat
One of them's
scene.
called making an entrance. I feel like I already did that.
Making an entrance. I would also say investigation stunts on the previous page could theoretically apply. So you have 5 points. There's a lot of things that you could theoretically do. So in this case, since this is an unfamiliar system, you might just pick the pick a stunt that looks interesting, and then we can work it into the narrative. You do not have to spend all 5 of the stunt points.
Let's go with intuition. I feel like that would be a fun one to work in. That's under investigation.
Yes. Love it. So, Kirla looks around to see if you are being observed. And a couple of the dock workers seem to be still kind of like wondering what's going on with this weird Elcor. But you aren't picking up anything particularly odd about it. You do see some alien in an unusual outfit, kind of white with little yellow splotches on it that maybe look a little bit like they're meant to represent some sort of plant. But there's all kinds of weird aliens on the Citadel. So it doesn't really necessarily strike you as odd. Zortan, on the other hand, homes in very, very quickly on this unusual observer. First of all, its body looks a bit odd, and its clothing doesn't fit particularly well. Like, it literally just looks like it's wrapped up in a sheet. And you can see some sort of light source coming out of kind of the hole that it's made. So you recognize perhaps it's someone with a scope, but it certainly seems quite unusual. And I will say, you then, as part of your stunt, you look down and one of its feet is poking out from underneath the shower curtain. And you see the very recognizable kind of split toe of a Geth. And it is watching you.
Cautious. There is a Geth over there.
I'm gonna look. I'm guessing I'm following his line of sight.
You see the alien wrapped up in a shower curtain.
Don't Geth have flashlight heads?
There is a little bit of a light in there, but you never know. It could be a prosthetic. So while you guys are figuring this out, Phalanx, what are you doing?
I am just looking around because I arrived the latest, obviously. So
Yes, but you were there to witness the large Hanar, the Zortan, say very loudly to everyone that cerulean was his favorite color, and you nonchalantly. So you recognize that is the code word that you were told to be alert for.
is he just with the Drell?
With a Drell, yes. They are currently making they're currently they exchanged a few words, and then the Hanar kind of turned to look at you, and then the Drell also then turns to look at you. It's very difficult to read the expression on Zortan's face because, well, you've seen it. It's
It
just
looks like this.
yeah, they don't really have facial expression or vocal expression for that matter. So its little beady eyes are just boring into you, and the Drell probably is a little bit more more expressive. The nictitating membrane starts to flutter a bit. I think they have nictitating membranes.
Not that I recall. But is there anybody else watching or no?
Some of the laborers are still a little bit, because this is a few seconds have passed. Some of the laborers are still a little bit like, what's going on in here? But they're busy loading up a shipment, so they don't, like, no one seems obviously perturbed. However, if you would like, you could also make a perception check, specifically for the laborers.
Sure, I'll do that. Okay, so both my non-stunt die match.
Lovely. So let's get the total first. So all 3 die plus your perception.
That's 5 total.
Okay. And how many stunt points did you generate? So the third non-matching die, what is the value on that?
1.
Okay, so you generated a stunt point. It is going to be in the same general area. I think the easiest thing to do is, well, maybe aha or flashback.
Yeah, let's do aha.
Cool. An additional useful fact. One of the laborers has a not particularly a slightly concealed, but not like super well concealed Omni tool. And you recognize that it is an advanced model and potentially outside the type of budgetary constraints that a simple laborer would operate under. It's basically like a dock worker with a Rolex. It seems unusual. But the person doesn't seem to like be paying any attention to you. But they do have, like, you see underneath their jumpsuit, you can see the kind of moving hard, like holographic or hard light or whatever. Who knows what Omni tools are made of? I don't think it was ever actually determined, but some sort of glowing mechanism that appears to be active.
Okay. I'm gonna take a mental digital note of that and make my way to the Drell and the Elcor.
All right. So
I'm a little hasty.
stomp.
Yeah.
Stomp.
Like,
Stomp.
Death
He's
coming at
walking
us.
towards us.
This could be part of the test.
Yes.
So that's how I'll mutter part of, like, this could be the mission.
Oh.
Can I cloak? Can I just panic and cloak?
I think that is exactly what you would do in front of everyone. I think that's perfect. So it's also a good way of exposing some of the mechanics. So, all right. So you would like to activate your Tech Power Tactical Cloak. So that is going to cost you, I should have said you guys are probably going to want to have a piece of paper just to track some of this stuff. But that is going to cost you 4 of your power points. And you're going to need to make a power test. So
When do our PowerPoints recharge?
when you have a chance to rest and recuperate.
Okay.
Think of it like basically between scenes. So the good news is with Tactical Cloak, you're quite good at it. The target number is quite low. It's technically possible for you to fail, but it's very unlikely. So just need to roll 3d6 and then +4. That's calculated your power test for you there in that first column. So
9 on the dice, 13.
beautiful. So you pass the target number 9, which means you are successful. So you spend a major action every round. Or basically you have major actions and minor actions. It's kind of like actions and bonus actions in 5e. So you spend a major action and leverage your advanced technology to warp light around you, and you fade from visibility. Now I would like you to make a dexterity stealth check. Dexterity stealth, the way that it's documented, dexterity is the attribute, and stealth is basically the focus. You do not have stealth as a focus because you're an Elcor. So if I call for a dexterity stealth or like a fighting, grappling, or a strength athletics or whatever, and you don't have that second piece, just roll the attribute. So in this case, you're just going to roll a dexterity check. So that's 3d6 minus 1. And again, let me know if you stunt, because things can happen.
So that's a 9 on the dice, no stunting. So 8.
Okay. So the target number to figure out that you're there. I mean, the field works, right?
I'm not trying to necessarily hide. It was half a gag, right? But it was also half so that Phalanx might be like, oh, maybe these are the people I'm supposed to be here.
Yes. Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm like, seriously?
I am going to check and see if, just to make a collective roll for the laborers to see if they notice this.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that's
Spectre trainees, amateur magicians.
Yeah, that's an 11. So while they cannot see you because you successfully activated the power, they all know you're there. And they're just gonna go, what's up with that? I would say that most of them become less curious because now there's clearly something weird happening and they don't want to get involved in it.
Smart.
And like maybe their bill of lading is not entirely in order, so they just kind of want to finish their business. So most of them just kind of put their head down and just keep working. But yeah, everyone knows that you're standing there, invisible, all 8 feet of you. All 8 feet and probably, 1,200 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least. You've been on a diet, so you've lost a little bit. But anyway. So yes, and obviously Phalanx sees the Elcor fade from sight. For no apparent reason. What do you do?
I stop moving as soon as that happens. Collect my thoughts and continue walking.
I'm going to hold out a hand.
To approach.
Yeah, that's close enough. We're well aware of what you are. Now I want to know what you're doing here.
From under my cloak, I would like to say, question, what is your favorite color?
Sure. Inquisitive.
I look at the blank space that talked to me, and I will answer. Our favorite color is blue, a shade for organics of cerulean.
I will drop the cloak.
Excellent. Then you don't have to spend any more PowerPoints to maintain it.
You could just be mirroring what you said.
Right.
I didn't put that much thought into it.
So, Zortan is ready to trust.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. It's a guess. It could just totally be trying to mirror because it's clearly trying to blend in here.
It's entirely possible. How about SJ, I would like you to give me an intelligence politics check, which politics doesn't matter for you. Oh, I didn't explain. If you have the focus, it adds a 2 to your roll. So every time you see the little like for you, navigation, electronics, our focus is under intelligence. If you are rolling with either of those, you just add 2 to the roll.
Okay.
But since this doesn't apply.
Oh, how did I? Oh, there we go. Oh, okay, 6, 2, and 5.
Oh, wow. So that's 13, which is right. 6,
Right.
5, 11,
Wait,
2.
6, 2, 5. Yeah. 11.
Yep. So you are aware. It is. I mean, it's not like it's a huge secret, but it's also not necessarily publicly known. But you are certainly aware that the idea of all the Geth as the enemy of all organics is an inaccurate and incomplete assessment. In fact, it was revealed several years ago through the investigation into what happened with Saren that the Geth who were antagonistic represented a faction. Basically, the Geth collective consciousness couldn't reach consensus, so they split along the lines of exactly how to address or what the posture of the Geth should be towards their creators and organics in general. And so you probably have heard the term true Geth, which is what the Geth who have perhaps a more cooperative nature. And I'm sure you are likely aware that at least one Geth has worked with a Spectre before.
Probably not like fangirl Shepard, but given that they're the first human Spectre and I want to be the first drow Spectre, I've probably done quite a bit of reading on what I can.
Well, and Shepard is on the cover of every magazine.
Right.
And it's like there's soap operas that are about Shepard's life, and it's real. I mean, Shepard is oversaturated at this point.
Gotcha.
Shepard is extremely online.
I just want to make sure before we just blow everything that this Geth is actually here for the same reason and not just mirroring trying to learn human things and decided to spit back what someone else said to try to fit in.
Excellent. How would you like to do that?
Why are you here? I'm just going to ask it straight up.
That works.
Why are you here?
I was sent a message to come here.
By who?
Cerulean.
Okay. Just making sure. But really?
Yes, really.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go further into the docking bay away from some people. Let's start walking towards our transportation.
You don't.
That nice little disguise of yours.
We don't know what our transportation is.
No, hold on.
We don't have any details.
We know it's in this docking bay to meet up.
Yes.
I have details.
They said transportation would. Correct. Oh.
That dock worker is shady. He has expensive stuff.
It's a Citadel. A lot of shady stuff happens on the Citadel. He's probably taking bribes.
We should kill him.
Whoa. Wow. Was that like a directive given to you by our mutual friend, or is that just pure what you're all about, man?
Wait, I have to analyze this again.
I would say so. I'm all for justice, but I mean, that's a little bit of an extreme reaction. He could have inherited, maybe his grandma died.
Yes.
He had a bunch of money, he decided to upgrade,
What is a grandmother?
Your parents' mother. The family member. Sometimes when family members die, they leave their belongings and money credits to their loved ones.
This is good information.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure
no,
how to
no
articulate.
problem, no problem. So about that transportation.
I'm not sure how to articulate what I'm thinking, but I'm thinking that the dock workers could also be like our crew for this. Just throwing that out there as a twist. Like,
So as a prompt, Zortan, given Zortan's skills as an infiltrator, so this is a combination of technology, tech, and combat capabilities. And with Phalanx's description that the fancy thing that the dock worker had was an omni tool, and that it was that it was active. Well, you can certainly, I would say, you can certainly make an intelligence computers check to get a sense of what how the omni tool is currently functioning. You could, in theory, also hack it, but most likely the first thing that you would do would be to figure out what it is. And you, of course, have powers that you can use that could do all sorts of gross things.
3d6 plus 2 because that's my intelligence plus 2 because I have a focus.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
$12 total.
Any doubles?
No.
Okay. You're not quite. You don't have any access to the system, but you can tell from the power configuration that it appears that he is simply recording.
Well, that's not good. I will relay that information to the other members of the party and suggest that we kill him.
I like this one. I will pat the Elcor on the side.
This has to be part of the test. I don't not. They
Furiously.
can't actually be trainees, right? They're
Yes.
not actually trainees. This is just a test to see if I'll kill some random dock worker. Is that what this is?
Yes. Zortan
I'll
says,
give enough peer pressure.
bloodthirsty. We should kill it. Filled with rage.
No, maybe like with regret. That dock worker seems to be recording and probably captured our interactions thus far, which do not shed a particularly good light on me.
Can it catch audio from where he is?
Oh, sure, it's an omni tool. He's probably like 15, 20 yards away. So
I suggest we at least approach him.
Am I able to see everyone's weapons?
oh sure.
Are you able? Can I tell that he's an infiltrator since he's already used some techie powers?
I did cloak.
He did
And
cloak.
you can tell he's recording.
Well, so the human just looks like a dock worker. Certainly,
Right.
Zortan used a tactical cloak and interacted.
Okay.
Although I would say probably Elcor likely interact with Omni tools using their subsonic like vocalizations as opposed to because they have fingers, but they are mostly walking on them.
Mhm.
So you probably feel a little bit of rumble in the air, and then you can see the Omni tool affixed to Zortan's trunk-like front limb begin to execute a complex series of maneuvers.
Are you able to delete the footage without killing this guy?
Am I?
You may certainly try.
What would that look like?
So,
I have a tech power called bypass, and I have a talent called hacking, but I don't know how that.
you have several things that you could do. You could attempt to bypass, although that is primarily most useful in accessing containers, doorways, other things that have like a simple, or maybe not even so simple, but have a security system to prevent them from being accessed.
Like an Omni tool.
I think in this case, you're probably more likely trying to hack it. Well, no, it's your choice. You can just attempt using
What's the
cryptography to hack it and use your talent for hacking, or you could use your tech power to simply blunt force bypass it. You've got a bunch of various different subroutines loaded into your Omni tool that you could activate.
What's the difference between a tech power and a talent mechanically?
A talent is just something that you're able to do, something you have learned to do, or like your talent tech powers, it unlocks a set of capabilities. So easiest way to explain it is your tech powers are spells and your talents are like feats. Talents typically don't have a PowerPoint cost to them. They're just always on. They modify a thing that you can do.
I would like to say just use hacking.
Okay.
But from what the skill sounds like, it's just for information gathering. It's not really for manipulation of anything.
Yeah. Your choice. I mean, if you hack into it, I would say that would give you access, and that if you wanted to do something to it with a subsequent roll, you certainly could. Or you could just bypass it and take complete control.
As in typical, what Mass Effect AI hacking is like taking control of the Geth turret, whatever there is.
Hacking. There is, in fact, a and I mixed a little bit of the Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 terminology. So Zortan also has the sabotage tech power.
Gotcha.
Which you can use to sabotage weapons and machinery as well as hack AI. Take control of AI, which would include Phalanx. Phalanx is like, no.
I thought about doing that before he walked over, like as an intro.
Yeah.
I'll just
Phalanx hurls a frag grenade at you both. This goes south immediately. Okay, so you're going to try to do what? Hack it? Or
hack it.
Hack
First.
it. Awesome. So that is going to be an intelligence security.
Also a 12. No doubles.
Very cool. It is relatively advanced, but it's not like it's Black Ops. It is advanced, but it's not as advanced as like the ones that you have. Like it doesn't have any combat subroutines. It just basically has high quality consumer grade security. So yes, you are able to access seamlessly handshake with the dock workers Omni tool, and you have not like root access, but you have like the same access, the same kind of surface level access that you would have if you were physically manipulating or subsonically manipulating the interface.
Okay.
And you can tell from its status that it is currently recording audio and video of you guys.
Reporting or streaming?
Recording.
Okay, good.
To local memory.
Perfect.
So because I did hacking instead of bypassing, there's not necessarily anything subsequently that I can do.
I would let you make an intelligence computer roll, not even a particularly high test number, to just like you were him, deactivate the recording and then delete the file. Since you basically have user access, I will, however, give him this will be contested. I will give him a roll to see if he notices it.
The reason I asked, that's all fine, but the reason I asked specifically was to see if I could find any other information on the Omni tool. What he was doing or what have you. But my primary goal here is to delete the recording and the recording.
Because you ask, I will say that it strikes you as odd because the only local file on this high quality Omni tool is the recording that this individual started making, and the individual started recording before you guys arrived.
And you confirmed he's recording us
Yes,
specifically?
100%. Was recording the entryway to the docking bay, and then as soon as you guys came in and moved around, there was, he either manually directed it or, well, he would have had to have manually directed it, but there's like no other recordings. There's the user preferences are still at factory default.
Gotcha.
And I would say because you have access, you can like check the software version or whatever. It's not like this was a brand new purchase. It was effectively reset.
A burner Omni tool.
It's a very expensive burner Omni tool.
Okay.
My character is thinking, shadow broker agent, just some dummy trying to like just record things, or like this is Cerulean trying to record our progress because we are being evaluated. No, that's why I'm not going to just kill this person, because what if they're working for the people we're working for?
The thought I occurred was that they were recording it for Cerulean. But yeah, so I'd say I'm narrating what I'm doing.
Okay.
So they know like in real time, and then I'll make the roll to delete it.
Yep. Smugly, I have full access.
There are no other files on this Omni tool. All right, rolling.
Yes.
I get lots of doubles, but they're never my non-stun die.
Yeah.
So you said that was another intelligence
It's
computer?
in intelligence computers, yeah.
13.
Okay. You have successfully deleted the file.
And stop the recording.
Yeah, I would say even I mean, this is totally your jam. And so there's like a little flashing red light that says record on his wrist interface. And if you were to just stop recording, he might notice it. So you simply redirect the sensors to record in a different direction.
Okay.
So that if he casually checks, he'll think that it's still operating. Cool.
Now what?
Now, well, what do you do? But I mean, I assume you're.
My now what wasn't to you. It was more to SJ, because she was like,
Yeah.
Can you delete the recording? And I'm like, oh, okay, I deleted the recording. Now what? Can we kill him? Or should we talk to him?
Let's go somewhere more private.
Smart.
I have a better idea.
If it's kill him,
No,
no.
although I did have an alternative if the Elcor here couldn't turn it off.
Did that involve an M96 Matic rifle?
No, it involved the drill's shotgun
Oh, okay.
to shoot its arms off, so it wouldn't have an Omni tool. New Elcor friend, can you sneak up behind him so we can interrogate him?
We have
He
another
still has
mission.
information about us and why we're here. Maybe he knows where the ship is?
Hesitant. I could, but should I?
Almost as if on cue, Lieutenant Cant, your Omni tool cheaps. It is receiving effectively an access code.
Okay.
It is being pinged by a aging nondescript shuttle of Hanar design.
Let's go.
But designed as kind of a so not one of their kind of military vessels, but one that is designed to accommodate a humanoid crew as well.
Okay.
So
I'm going to see the ping. Like, oh, thank gods. That's our ride.
yes. That does not mean you can't go and harass this dock worker. I'm all for that too.
I know, but I am all for the...
We can decide whether or not to harass the dock worker from within the privacy of the shuttle.
All right.
Yeah, let's head over to the shuttle.
So, Phalanx, you're going to go rip his arm off, or going to join? Are you going to be part of the consensus, or are you going to be a heretic?
the consensus being these two, or
Sure.
the consensus being in my brain.
Well, I was thinking more like the external consensus.
Ah. I suppose I'll go with them for now.
Okay.
I'll learn these new organic emotions.
Yes. And you've got a great teacher in an Elcor. You probably actually can pick up some of the subsonic and maybe even some of the pheromones that Zortan gives off, because they're actually quite lively, emotional beings. It's just that their expression is very difficult for other humanoids to read because it is either subsonic or pheromones or both.
Yeah.
I personally still enjoyed Hamlet by the all Elcor cast.
Inquisitive, to be or not to be. Yes. So much nuance. Anyway, yes, so you make your way. As soon as you approach, you wave your Omni tool, and the cargo door opens, and you're able to make your way into a very used shuttle. Like, it smells used. The galley has been like kind of scraped clean, but there are a variety of foods, levo and dextro. So like there might have been a turian on here before. So their food is highly toxic to most other species and vice versa. But just like a mishmash grime of a variety of different foodstuffs from a variety of different cultures that has just kind of gradually formed a crust on the little counter and the galley table. It has
Charming.
a distinctive fug to it.
Great.
But there is a coffee machine.
I have a bad record with those in TTRPGs, so
Yes, episode 1, the coffee machine. All right. So
This looks lovely.
If no one else has anything they want to do, I would probably power on the computer and start looking for files like directives or navigational charts or something.
sure.
Yeah.
It's easy enough to pull up the ship manifest. Lieutenant can share the access code with all of you via Omni tool. So you pull up, and the ship's manifest is quite visible. You are making a run to a minor moon, is what has been filed publicly with Citadel Air Control. But as you examine the telemetry, it does look like it looks like a somewhat indirect route. And for kind of unknown reasons, you're heading off you're making a stop in interstellar space. Like it's a weird dogleg trajectory. But the flight path has been filed. I would say it does not require an intelligence roll to realize that this is to get you out of, it's a legitimate flight path, but it's to get you out of immediate observation so that any signals that you receive are less likely to be intercepted. So you can probably deduce that that's your rendezvous point, or the point that you're supposed to go to wait further transmission. So,
Curious. Are either of you qualified as pilots?
I think according to my stat sheet,
You are.
yes.
I will try it anyway.
No, I got it. Allow me, please.
I am very good with machines. I am machine.
Yep. I think it would be better though for you to learn more of those customs, courtesies, all that, not killing people from our Elcor friend. I'm sure you're super curious about organic life and everything, and I think this is a great opportunity for you. I will pilot, so you have that opportunity. You're welcome. All right, I'm going to go pilot.
all right. Just because it's silly, why don't you go ahead and give me a dexterity piloting check? As you signal the local docking bay control that you're ready for departure. They verify your flight plan. They give you clearance. So let's see how well you do.
At 345.
345. All right. So that is going to give you 12 plus 2 because you have the piloting focus. So 14 is more than sufficient for you to competently pilot your way out. So yes, you power up this. It's not exactly a clunker, but it is also, maybe 2-generation old technology. It is FTL capable, of course, or else you would just be out here until you all died. But you are able to successfully navigate through the shipping lanes, the very active shipping lanes around the Citadel, and move to, we'll say you move to a jump point, because why not? And you approach, you signal the Mass Effect relay, your destination, and we have that kind of cinematic shot of this jalopy of a shuttle approaching the side of this ancient, I think at this point people still think that they were made by the Protheans, this ancient Prothean artifact, as the power builds and this arcing energy strikes your vessel harmlessly as an extraordinarily powerful Mass Effect field forms, and you are slingshotted through space and whoop, pop into interstellar void. I would like... No, I'm not going to do that. I was going to say, and then the engines start blowing up and you guys need to fix them or else... But no.
Jeez.
That comes later. It's like,
The coffee maker too.
Yeah, the coffee maker is actually sabotaged, and it immediately sends a kill signal to your engines that begin to overload. But I thought that'd be a little bit too on the nose. So you wait only a few moments, and then the shipboard computer registers that it is receiving a signal.
Pull it up so you can see what's incoming.
Do you pull it up on the main, or?
I'll pull it up so they can both see it since they're part of the mission too, I guess, for now.
Meta, just for a second here.
Yes.
Just as far as I'm concerned, SJ, you can and are, unless Batty has any objections, responsible for all the communications back and forth with our handler.
Okay.
I agree. I don't think Phalanx should be talking to people much.
I mean, it's fine. You're so charming. Everyone in your book club on the Citadel really enjoys it when you show up. I mean, you probably think that. Anyway, yes. So this very familiar. The screen resolution isn't great. It's an actual physical display as opposed to 3D. But the very familiar silhouetted face and kind of a 3/4 shot of this shadowy Asari appears. Well, I see you found each other. There weren't.
Wave.
The Asari doesn't wave back. Did you encounter any difficulties?
There was a dock worker recording us, but our Elcor friend here was able to sabotage his Omni tool and delete the footage.
Interesting. Perhaps just a sightseer. Now,
Perhaps.
to the mission at hand. The Council has become aware of a rogue research project being conducted by an organization that we have had our eyes on for a while. Their motives are not entirely clear. They are privately funded and therefore are not required to file reports with the Citadel. However, Our intelligence indicates that they are in possession of a variety of artifacts from previous encounters with a particularly dangerous alien technology. You probably all have seen Spectre Shepherd, on Galaxy News Network ranting about Reapers, frightening the pants and various other articles of clothing off of sentience throughout the galaxy. Well, we're not entirely sure that Commander Shepard's assessment of this threat is completely accurate. However, we believe that this organization is in possession of technology associated with a very powerful alien species that we know to be antagonistic. They appear to be, we believe, studying it, hoping to reverse engineer probably weapons. The facility is disguised as an Alliance operation. And it would be politically sensitive for the Citadel to move against what is registered as an Alliance scientific installation. So we thought this would make an excellent test of our newest recruits. So we need you to travel to the planet Sepulchre. That is, you can all make an intelligence navigation.
5, 2. Yeah, 5, 2, 1. So 8, 9, 10, 10.
10. You probably have seen it on a star chart somewhere. And you're probably aware that the word, the name means tomb in Terran.
I got a 12.
You probably also have, maybe there's like an Elcor trading partner in a neighboring system. So you might know a little bit, but it's not a planet that any of you have been to, unless Phalanx rolled really, really well.
I got all 5s.
Oh, all 5s. So
That is really, really well.
Phalanx rolled extremely well, generating 5 stunt points and getting a 15. So yes, let's see. Let's figure out what the best stunt options are for you. This is going to be investigation likely or general exploration. It could be under general exploration. There's with a flourish, like an opportunity to impress your fellows and your handler with your knowledge. That might make sense.
Yeah,
it could be a lucky break. Like you might know some information about it that lets you kind of get some more insight into what might be going on there.
No, we'll go with a flourish.
All right. So you two are comparing. It's like, oh yeah, I think I've heard of that one. I saw it on a star chart, and sort of like, oh yeah, there's a trade partner over in a neighboring system. Kind of familiar. Don't really know anything about. Phalanx. Several of the programs that make up your consensus have a lot of astronomical data stored in them. So you have a relatively detailed long-range scan and are able to spit out specific details about the geography and climatology, the local ecology of this planet. It is not a nice place. It is habitable, but just. It is an old world around a relatively old star. It likely the star has cooled to the point that it is just on the edge. Like it was warmer and more hospitable a million years ago or so, but it has now become quite a bit colder than is comfortable for most sentients. And the ecology has become much simpler as a result. Many of the seas are frozen over. It is a very unusual place for a research facility because there are no, or at least the Geth data indicates there are no notable material or biological resources. It's just a slightly habitable ball of rock and ice with some liquid water. And you're able to rattle that off in significant detail to everyone. And as a result, everyone is quite impressed, including Cerulean, who kind of claps.
I also clap back.
Yes. And in a little bit of a Dr. No sort of way, right? Slow claps. Well done. Yes. They have selected their location, we believe, simply to avoid prying eyes. In fact, when we detected that there was a facility at this location, that's what clued us in that something might be going on. But when we contacted the Alliance, we were assured that it was a legitimate Alliance facility conducting biological resource, and the selection of this planet was primarily in case that it's like research into cures for human diseases, but just in case one of those diseases might cross species boundaries, it was thought that an out of the way location might be useful. And they claim to be researching on, they have a small population of patients who are subject to a variety of infectious and genetic diseases. So the out of the way location was recorded as being a protective measure. But we don't buy it.
But you got this information from the Alliance. So this is against the Alliance.
We believe that certain members of the Alliance have been compromised by this private entity, paid off effectively.
So what is our objective?
Your objective is to travel to Sepulchre, to infiltrate the facility, to verify if they are indeed if they are in possession of Reaper technology, gather any data as to their progress on reverse engineering that technology, then destroy the technology and any data. It is likely that every individual that you find in the installation is an employee of this private entity, and you are authorized to take whatever steps necessary to accomplish your mission, up to and including lethal force.
Understood.
Also, they're just humans. So it's not like it's a loss.
I'm going to keep a poker face, but I did not like that comment at all.
That's racist.
Especially being like,
Yeah. But no one likes humans, kind of.
Candidly,
I'm a little
that's
bit of a
racist.
Well, have you met a human? I mean, they barely crawl. They crawled out of the trees like yesterday, and suddenly they're like, "Oh, I want a seat on the council, and we want to be super important." Blah blah blah.
I did save them.
Also, Shepard is just the worst. I can't even watch my stories without seeing their face on everything. I can't even have cereal in the morning because Shepard's face is on the cereal box.
My cereal has Blasto.
In agreement, Shepard is the worst.
All right. So you have the location of Sepulchre. It'll take you a couple of jumps to get there, but you are outside immediate Citadel space, so there's really no one other than the occasional pirate to potentially harass you. And over the course of the next day or so, you all get a chance to know each other better. So imagine what those in-depth conversations are like. I won't inflict hours and hours of awkward role play on chat.
A Geth and an Elcor.
I'm gonna replenish my PowerPoints because it sounds like this is a
for sure. You all get rests and stuff like that if you rest.
Well, I don't rest or eat.
Yeah.
So while they're sleeping, I'm gonna pilot the ship.
Oh my god.
No, that's fine. Go ahead and give me a piloting test.
Sure. Okay.
Oh no.
I got a total of 8.
Okay.
was that on the dice?
Mm-hmm.
Piloting's dexterity, right? So you would get at least 1, or no?
Oh yeah, does
Piloting is its own
sorry,
thing.
sorry. Yes, it's dexterity piloting. So
no 8, but the difference between 8 and 9 could
the difference between 8 and 9 is actually important.
You're fine. You're asleep.
So, but that is 8 before you add your dexterity of 1, correct?
Yes.
So your actual number is 9. Well, the good news is Drell are heavy sleepers, or at least this one is, because as you take control and begin lurching around, as you kind of start to get a feel for the controls, but it's very kind of like accelerate a lot and then decelerate a lot and then left and right. You don't quite have the fine touch for it at first. We have an exterior shot of the shuttle just kind of bobbing and weaving very erratically for maybe a few minutes, and then eventually you adjust yourself to the sensitivity of the controls and begin unnecessarily manually piloting the ship in a more or less straight line for the remainder of the 8 or 9 hours that it takes everyone else to rest up.
Is that because Wolf redeemed a minor boon?
Yeah.
Not the coffee maker.
The coffee maker. No, actually, yes, the coffee maker.
No.
Because the minor boon is that Phalanx has enough data and has made enough observations of various different organics to understand that when they return to consciousness after a regeneration cycle, they often prefer to imbibe stimulants. So as you are awakened to the smell of space coffee. Actually, you probably no. I think you both can actually drink coffee, like actual coffee.
Okay.
And
groggy. I'll get up and go to the coffee, like thinking Zortan made it.
Phalanx is just sitting in the pilot seat.
Yeah, I don't know who said it, who made it, but either way, I'm not much of a coffee drinker, so I'm going feigning politeness. Thank you for the coffee.
I didn't provide it. It was here when I got here. I assume it came with the ship. I'm pouring myself a cup of coffee and I go to take a sip.
It's okay. I mean, this coffee maker hasn't been cleaned in probably a decade.
Okay.
So it's got a little bit of a metallic, bitterish flavor, but it's hot and it's strong.
Good enough for me.
Yes. Phalanx is incapable of smiling, but perhaps the camera eye dilates a bit. Your mission has been successful. You have provided them with stimulants.
Hey.
And you are currently flying the ship. Again, unnecessarily, because the autopilot can totally do it. But you got your hands on the stick. That's the important thing. So, yes. Yeah, it is time for you to figure out what your approach to the planet is going to be. You just gonna scan and then go land on their spaceport? or shuttle pad. Go in guns
I
blazing.
awake at this point, like we're about to land and he's still piloting the ship.
Oh yeah, I'm saying that you had timed your sleep cycle so that you would awaken maybe an hour before you enter the system, in which sepulcher.
I'm always going to
lies.
favor stealth sort of approach.
This
Yeah,
shuttle is not armed.
It's not armed, but it doesn't look like an Alliance ship though either, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to land this pretty far away and huff it a bit.
We could say we're having an emergency and request, clearance. We can try and land unnoticed on like the far side of the planet, but then we're gonna have to walk. We can shut off the transponder and try and land closer. I think it's kind of just up to our imaginations what we want to try.
My only worry is if we land with the emergency whatever, it's possible they report that up in some case. But if it's a private organization that's compromised Alliance, maybe not. But they could report it to the company. Granted, they won't know who we are.
So I'm in favor of stealth, if that's what you want to try to accomplish.
What?
I've seen your stealth prowess so far.
You said the ship is not armed, correct?
It is not armed. It's of sturdy construction, but it doesn't have any pew-pews.
I mean, itself is a weapon, right?
No, not with us on it.
You could 100% just aim the shuttle at full burn at this complex.
That will solve the entire mission.
And then detonate the Mass Effect engines upon impact and just blow the whole thing into a crater. You could totally do that. You could set it on autopilot and then just float in space in spacesuits.
And then we're stranded and die. I know you're a Geth and that's not as much of a concern, but this is a team for now. So we have to
my sci-fi explanation would be that we would reduce all the power consumption to minimum and turn off the communications, transponders, what have you, so we have as small of an energy signature as possible, and that we land as close to the structure as we can with that in mind.
Interesting. So
I'm just throwing it out there, though. I'm not saying that's what we have to do, but that's the plan that coalesced in my mind.
I will say that Zortan pulls up telemetry of the system and a kind of a three-dimensional scan of the surface. You believe, Zortan, you could effectively cut power. You could use your thrusters to pick up a lot of speed, effectively then cut power, go dark, and then enter atmosphere. Because this system is full of micro asteroids and large asteroids, etc. You think that if you were able to have the correct approach vector and disguise the energy signature of the shuttle, it would look to a casual scan like another micrometeorite. And there is, in fact, a mountain range relatively nearby to this installation. So you could theoretically aim it to look like it was crashing into the planet behind that mountain system. So they wouldn't necessarily notice that there wasn't an actual explosion. That's one potential option
for that plan, because there's no way with an L-core we're parking super far away and huffing it. That would take way too long.
Yeah, this would put you maybe 5 or 6 hours away at Zortan's movement speed, which is actually pretty close. It's a lot better than the far side of the planet.
Right.
It's still going to be chilly.
I will be piloting, however.
I was going to suggest that.
For this portion.
Yeah.
You did great. Take a break. Take a load off. I got it for this last bit. You did a great job.
We Geth do not require rest.
That's great. Go to the back.
I will I can't think of a clever way to word this. I will like pour and offer some coffee to our Geth friend, even though they don't consume it or anything like that. Just as a like, come on, get away from the console.
Here's some coffee.
I get up and walk over to the Elcor and try to explain to him that Geth do not eat. We don't even need sustenance or beverages. I just take it and find a plant and pour it in the plant.
Okay.
That's organic. It needs stimulants, according to
I
my
took
knowledge.
the seat.
You immediately take the seat. Thank God. All right, so I'm going to say that this is a staged test. So I think the first thing that we need to do is to actually do the calculations to plot the speed and trajectory to match what a small asteroid might, to match the type of speed and trajectory that would indicate to any scans from the facility that this is space debris and not a powered vessel. So I think that is going to be a intelligence computers.
So I will do that task.
Probably a good idea, since that's your jam.
Yeah.
15 total.
Any stunts?
No.
You believe that you have made a precision calculation. And you can even run a computer model and say something of the same general mass of the shuttle. If it was coming from this asteroid belt, if it had had a collision and was knocked into this orbit, what would it do? And you think that if you were scanning from the surface, that this would literally just be like, oh, it's a small meteor. Don't even need to worry about it.
Cool.
Now it is going to be up to Lieutenant Can to match that trajectory.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that's good. 5. 5. 3. So 13. And that was doubles.
Oh, it was double. So you get 3 stunt points. That is going to probably be useful for you. So let's take a look at I think you have a talent. No, it will just apply. You are easily able to, by fine tuning the thrust vectors, you're easily able to get the vessel up to probably more than its rated speed. Given that you need to have high velocity to match the calculations that Zortan has created, but that's no problem with you because of your speed, dim, and talent. So you take it from standard velocity up to exceptional velocity without causing any damage to the vessel itself. What happens upon landing is a whole other question. When it comes to stunts, this is going to be a... I don't think this one actually has broken out piloting stunts. So we could call it...
If you're desperate, this could kind of be considered an infiltration stunt because we're trying.
I think you're right. I think you're right that infiltration is the closest because you're trying to hide. So with how many stunt points did you generate? 3. So that would be you could gain a +1 per stunt point that you spend on the next test you make during the encounter, as long as you remain unnoticed. So like landing unnoticed, you could gain up to that one's limited to, oh no, actually that one's a 1+, so you could theoretically spend all 3 on that to give yourself a +3. Let's see, that doesn't really work. Probably don't want to do over here because that makes you the center of attention. You could do cover your tracks. I would say this is kind of like evading. You could impose a -2 on any rolls to detect that your ship is anything other than a meteor.
That works.
Useful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yep. You are going to make it more difficult for them. So you have, we'll say that just the ship scans revealed like a micronebula. And as you're moving yourself into approach vector, you carry yourself through the micronebula and pick up a little bit of an envelope of charged particles, which are going to make a little bit of just a kind of a completely natural sensor scattering field for a short period of time. Of course, once you hit atmosphere, there's gonna be like lots of ionization and stuff like that. It's gonna make it difficult for them to scan anyway. But in case they have orbital scanners, you've made it a little bit more difficult to detect you on approach. So, you do, in fact. It is a hairy ride. This vessel, I mean, the hull temps get well over safe rating. But it does seem like someone has reinforced the structure of this vessel. It seems a little bit more robust than it ought to be, and you don't lose any hull plating because it was a successful roll. I am going to roll to see if they are able to detect you with that -2 penalty. At the same time, I would like you to roll to, at the last practical moment, fire up the mass effect drive to reduce the mass of the vessel, and then fire your thrusters so that you don't crater into the surface of this god-awful planet. So let's do that. That is going to be another dexterity piloting check. Remember, you do have, as a meta currency, you do have conviction. And conviction can be used to like do a reroll in case you roll really, really poorly.
Yeah, I got an 8 with no doubles. Oh, 10. 10 with +2 piloting.
Would you like to spend conviction?
How many conviction do we get?
You all have 5 currently. And you can get it back. Just as because I don't remember if it's in the basic rule set that you guys have seen or not. So conviction as a meta currency powers some things like I'd rather just be knocked out and stable as opposed to die is one of the things. I would like to re-roll a die. There's some other things, but I think those are I think re-rolling is probably the most effective use currently, but let me check.
Is
you
it 10
can
bad?
you got 5. You can gain them back by primarily through role-playing decisions that align with your positive value or your negative flaw. So you can effectively invoke one of those things in the way you make decisions or the way you role play, and I can award you a conviction back.
So I have a question.
Yes.
And it's not to second guess. It's just to make sure I understand the mechanics.
Yes.
SJ, what did you roll on the dice?
8.
8 plus,
so you
8
get
plus 2.
4 for your dexterity and +2 for piloting. Is that
Oh,
right?
I thought it was 8 total.
No,
8 on the
8
dice.
like is what I rolled.
Okay.
And I thought it was 10 with the piloting, but
And
I forgot about
plus dexterity. So that's
I thought
14.
you had to choose one or something.
No. To clarify, yes, all of your rolls are going to be using an attribute. You are always going to add or subtract, in some cases, the attribute. And if you have a focus under that attribute in italics, that adds another 2.
Oh, okay, I understand. Did not know that.
So you actually got a 14.
That's way better.
That is much better.
That's way better. Now you probably, the chances of rolling higher than an 8 on a 3d6 are, 50-50, or slightly better than 50-50. So I will still give you the option if you would like, but if you use conviction on a reroll, you have to use the second one.
Yeah, this guy's trying to trick me.
I thought it was an 8 total. I was like, that's terrible. You're going to get better if you reroll.
Well, the first one was a 1, so I was like, oh.
Yeah. But in this case, you're more or less just as likely to get a worse result than a 14 is pretty darn good. Okay, so we'll stick with a 14.
Yeah.
So yes, now I need to see if they are able to scan you and figure out what's going on. -2 is going to make that. It's not doubles, thank goodness. Okay. So I know whether they have figured out.
I knew you were going to do that.
But, they don't start shooting you down with laser beams. They apparently don't have if they have some sort of defense against spaceborne threats, it's clear that you haven't triggered that, because like nothing, no shuttle scramble, no huge beam weapons lance out of this facility to atomize you. As you enter the atmosphere, very rapidly become a blazing fireball. With Zortan's expert calculations, you even like instead of just firing up the mass effect field at the very last minute, you gradually ramp it up to mimic the meteor losing mass as a significant portion of it burns up in the atmosphere. So it is an expert ruse, and you are tracking, I'll say Phalanx is tracking the performance of the pilot and ship against the computer model that Zortan created, and it's within like 98 point something % match. So Phalanx is clear that this is a expertly executed maneuver. So we see this kind of snowy, windswept landscape, gray sky, jagged kind of peaks. It's likely that, and this is in a relatively high latitude, so it's quite cold up here. The equatorial regions, there is liquid water, and it's a bit more temperate. But up here, it's like the tips of mountains, and then the plains are just like packed snow and ice. So they're probably very tall mountains, but the exposed portion is relatively low. So we see this fireball shooting through this gray sky, and kind of in silhouette, this kind of modular pods connected by walkways, facilities sitting on this ice pack. We see this arc of fire go down behind these jagged peaks. Then we cut to see you, as soon as you basically break line of sight and scanner line with the facility, the blue light of the thrusters ignites, the mass effect field comes on at full strength, and you do one of these kind of trampoline bounces where you get within like 3 feet of the surface, very, very rapidly decelerating, and then kind of rebound a little bit, and then very expertly lower back down. The directional thrusters kind of even out to enable the ship to land. Little feet come out, crunch. You have successfully made it to the surface of Sepulchre.
Easy. Feeling a little more confident in my teammates.
You did it.
Little.
Yes.
I helped.
Yeah. I made the coffee. So, yes. Now, thanks, Fighting Pickles. Sorry. So, it's cold outside.
Yeah, I don't like the cold.
Phalanx probably doesn't care.
Nope. What
My
is
home
the
planet.
temperature?
Well, not Kage, but the original Drow planet. We're built for heat.
Yeah.
So I got that full armor with that, like, that one mask Shepard has with the like just like the goggles, but it's all black. Like that sort of looking deal.
There are some supplies. So, you can just rely on your armor if you would like. But there are some, high-tech nanomaterial parkas, basically. And some sort of like giant, I don't know, saddle blanket or whatever you put on an Elcor. Just a
nanite tarp.
Just a weird tarp that you can wrap Zortan in. But based on your calculations, your armor should be able to provide you, if not comfort, at least protection from damaging effects from the cold for a relatively short period of time. The concern is that if you get caught in bad weather or otherwise detained, it might become problematic. But then again, there's the whole, like, what do you do? Like, what do you do with the parkas and other gear when you get into the facility? Are you going to haul it with you, or are you going to try to stash it somewhere? Maybe it would be found. So there's some calculations you need to make. It's maybe not an impactful choice, but it is a choice.
I hate the cold, so I am taking a parka.
Okay.
I'm
Zortan.
not going 5 hours, 6 hours.
Mute.
Mute. You're muted.
Cat Dad, mute.
I'm thinking. Like, I know they've got a rough, Elcor have like a thick, rough hide, but I'll just bring the tarp.
Okay. So you
If I
guys
lose it, no big deal.
suit and tarp up. And my assumption is Phalanx, do you put on there is another parka if you would like to wear it. It is certainly not required to protect your exoframe.
No, I got my shower curtain. I'm good.
Okay. So Phalanx wraps itself in the daisy patterned now
I haven't taken it off.
oh, so you've just been wearing it the entire time. Do you also have the rubber ducky from the bathroom in a nearby abandoned apartment?
Don't worry about where that duck is.
I'm not going to take the tarp. The
Okay.
surface temperature of the Elcor homeworld is negative 37 degrees Celsius.
Really?
So
Okay, never mind. So you're
the
totally
equator,
Sorry.
whatever this means, the equator mean temperature is 15 degrees Celsius.
Ah, yes, that's right. Well, they so it's actually in some ways similar to this planet, although this planet is smaller and doesn't have the high gravity. But if I recall correctly, the temperate zones of the Elcor homeworld are just these vast rolling grasslands, which explains why you have this sort of and high gravity. So you have this kind of slow gait, but you are migratory by nature. Cat Dad looks like he wants to say something.
I'm reading the wiki as I make these.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
don't know if it's the homeworld. It says seeking a homeworld of their own. The Quarians petitioned the council for this planet. They did some stupid stuff. The council gave it to the Elcor instead. So I don't know if it's that's their home planet or if it's just a planet. But
It's a planet that they have. But yeah, if it's a planet that the Elcor like, I would say that this would be like a human in Alaska, right? Like maybe not the most comfortable environment. The Elcor probably stick to the more temperate regions, but because we'll say that's where you grew up, you are probably okay. And it's probably only like -5 Celsius. So it's cold. It's certainly cold enough that if you're not active, things might happen. But again, you got thick hide, you'll probably be fine. So you don't take the weird picnic blanket. You are wearing a parka. You are wearing a a daisy patterned. Well, it'll keep any snow out. So yes, and it is largely white. So it may be it's good camouflage if someone doesn't look too close. So anything else you want to do before you exit and begin the long trek?
No, I'll take a cup of coffee with me.
Okay, a thermos.
Oh, well.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally doable. And if it gets cold, Zortan can incinerate it, warm it back up. So you exit the shuttle and begin the long, slow trudge. I will say Zortan probably is slower, but probably has an easier time just due to the size of the pads on your front and rear appendages. You sink less into the snowpack, which is probably only about 6 to 10 inches deep before it hits like ice or deeply packed snow. But Lieutenant Can and Phalanx struggle a bit more, although Phalanx just soldiers on, quite literally.
I'm mumbling under my breath about the snow and cold.
Yeah, it keeps getting in. One of those little gill flap things are in your face. It's just like it's uncomfortable, and the air is quite dry because it's so cold. So you probably don't like that either.
Dry air.
Oh, you do? Okay.
That's the whole Keppel syndrome issue. Is the air on the Hanar homeworld is very like humid, moisture, which causes Keppel syndrome because we're used to a super arid planet.
Oh, that's right. Yes. So you probably stick to lower humidity things because you don't want to catch the syndrome. Love it. So awesome. how would you like to approach the facility? I'll say that you can come over. You're skirting around the peaks of this largely submerged mountain range, but you can go up into kind of the low mounds that have collected on the windward side. No, lee side, whatever. The one where the snow would collect, and you can kind of crawl your way up snowbank so you can get a good visual on this facility. It's
Let's have a sniper rifle that I can like borrow just to like look. Zortan has a sniper rifle. Awesome. Love it.
Excitedly, I have a sniper rifle.
so the interesting thing is this. Zortan's saddle, the thing that Zortan wears on his back, contains basically mechanized hard points where Zortan, because it's not like an Elcor can hold a sniper rifle.
Right, they're like turrets.
Basically.
Kind of use, yeah.
And you can, so you basically activate combat mode and you get one of those projected HUD displays and you control this device with whatever, subsonics or some other means of communication, but it's not like you're actually holding it on your, you become effectively a walking turret.
You can't just like grab a sniper rifle and it's not like that. It's like part of his system. Okay.
I mean, I would think that the Omni tool, our optics in our armor or something would have some degree of zooming capability.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it would make sense too if we're on missions like these trying to do.
Well, and your armor has a HUD display. So, but the sniper rifle one might be more powerful. So it's probably immaterial for Zortan to send you a visual feed to your helmet. Yes. Go ahead.
Can I just magnify with my lens eye face?
Yeah, of course.
Lens eye face.
You're the little snout that is your face. You can you can see the obviously like glass lens with like an old school aperture. I've never quite understood exactly why their eyes look like, pre-digital camera lenses, but they do. It's probably just for efficiency. So you collectively can see that this is quite the complex. It is largely a set of the kind of stereotypical prefab structures with the multiple levels, etc. There are a few ground vehicles. So not quite Makos, but similar sort of type of vehicle modified for operation in cold environments and in kind of a snowy ground. There is a shuttle pad. There is a shuttle on the pad that appears to be of Alliance make. The markings on the shuttle pad, however, don't match the typical markings. So the little logo on the side does not match the Alliance logo, and the coloring is a little bit off. The color.
Do you recognize it?
Well, I'll just say that the coloring of Alliance shuttles tends to be kind of a gray and blue. This is white, black, and orange.
Yikes. Okay.
Like
the Cerberus color scheme.
The players may be aware that indicates a Cerberus color scheme, but the characters may not. But otherwise,
too, right?
Yeah, and they existed long before. And
right, but they didn't really come. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks. I would say it looks like a corporate shuttle of Alliance design. But the rest of the facility has Alliance markings all over it.
How many people do we see outside?
Currently, I'm going to say you watch for a bit. At first, you don't see anyone. But then you do see what looks to be at least one patrol. Heavily armored, holding assault rifles. comp out of one of the buildings, come over, kind of casually look at the shuttle, clomp around, pull up effectively binoculars, kind of scan the horizon. They don't appear to be, I would say they probably don't appear to be on high alert or anything. It just looks like a routine patrol. And it's only 2. And just based on their locomotion, they are almost certainly human.
Okay, cool.
But, full helmet, can't really get anything on them. And their body armor does have Alliance markings on it.
Okay. So there's not constant patrols, there's just occasional patrols that go out, seems like, from my perspective.
Yes. Sepulchre is in the ass end of nowhere.
Okay. So we could...
Go ahead, SJ.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to ask the same thing, or along the same lines of how long would it take us to close the distance?
Probably about 30 minutes.
Are there any wildlife?
Previous scans from like long range scans from orbit indicated that there is some life on the planet in the temperate belt around the equator.
I meant nearby.
No. Well, you know what? I shouldn't just say no. Let us make that. Let's make that a perception, scanning, or tracking.
Tracking.
Because one of you has tracking. So or seeing. I think you can make it as seeing if you want to use your eyeballs. You could make it scanning if you want to use your Omni tool, or you could make it tracking if you want to use your lens and various different subroutines to see if you can pick up signs of life forms.
I would like to use one of those conviction points to reroll.
All right.
A die. Okay, I got a total of 11.
Okay, 11 total, no sense. Cool. Anyone else perceiving, looking around? Mute.
I do mute.
That's correct. Yeah, I just got an 11, 12, 13, 15.
Ooh.
For perception seeing.
For perception seeing. So, as Phalanx, I'd say you probably step back a bit from this ridge so you're not having to crouch down. As Phalanx kind of makes a short patrol scanning the snowpack, you do find, you find your tracks, but you do find some very large depressions and some, there's a little bit of a crust on the snow. So it's clear that some reasonably large creature has passed through here at some point in the relatively recent past. Zortan, who's not using, is that those?
I didn't like whatever that noise was.
Yeah, me neither.
That laugh was...
So that's 16, 2 5s, so 3 stunt points.
Did the bad guys just stun?
There aren't any bad guys. What are you talking about?
I don't like that.
I'm going to say yes. It's a little bit of a thing, but I'm going to. So, Zortan is looking around, and you think you catch movement out of the corner of one of your beady little eyes. Or we'll say you smell, because you have a very refined auditory sense, olfactory sense. So we'll say that you smell something unusual and kind of musty and organic as the wind kind of whips around just a little bit. And then your beady eyes detect a little bit of motion very, very close to you.
Uh-oh.
There is some sort of very white furred creature crouched down in the snow, very slowly kind of ooching its way towards you about 10 yards away. And I'm going to spend its stunt points to give it a +3 on its initiative roll, which we're all going to make now.
I would like to, at completely normal volume, say, quietly, there is a creature approaching.
Yes. Beautiful. All right, so this is just going to be a dexterity roll. If you have an initiative focus, which I believe you do, Phalanx, that just means you add a +2. I'm going to roll my dexterity +3 because of the stunt points.
You had to ask about the wildlife.
Oh, no. Okay, those aren't doubles. It's the same roll, but not doubles this time.
So this is a dexterity?
It's dexterity initiative, yeah. And if
I would get +4.
+4 for your dexterity, and I don't think you have the initiative focus.
I got 11.
I
Okay.
rolled 554, which is doubles +4 plus another 4.
Ooh.
So 18.
Lovely. So what'd you get, Zortan?
11.
And we've got Lieutenant Khan with 18. What'd you?
4 stunt points.
And 4 stunt points. We'll figure that in a second. Thanks.
13. No stun points.
5, 10, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, because I kind of cheesed it, if you would like, you could use momentum as your stunt to spend up to 3 points to raise your initiative. You do a rapid assessment of the situation. It looks like this thing is going to get the jump on you. Or you could duck and weave to gain a point of defense per stunt point spent until the beginning of your next turn. Typically, momentum just changes it during the round, but I'm going to say that this is about setting the initial initiative order. You could Guardian Angel and place yourself in harm's way to protect one of your allies. You could group tactics and let one of your allies move 2 yards per 2 points spent. So like this thing is the closest to Zortan. So you could allow Zortan to kind of regroup with you guys.
I want to see if I would like to try to move first, for sure.
Okay, so you're going to spend up to 3 stunt points to gain an equal bonus to your initiative.
Right.
So how many stunt points did you generate?
4.
4. So you can spend up to 3, which would bring your initiative up to 21, which is exactly what you need to be first. So,
Perfect.
Lieutenant Can, you are up first.
Is this what size is this? Is this a medium size?
It is Elcor size, so large.
Damn. Okay, so pull would not work.
No. Oh no. Yeah, I would say you think there might be a penalty on the activation test because it's larger than you would typically use pull for. But you probably have pulled things of. It's hard to know because you can't tell how massive it is because it's very furry. Mm-hmm. If it's light but fluffy, it might be easy. If it's very, very dense, it might be harder. But mechanically, I will just impose a penalty on. If you'd like to use pull, I will just impose a penalty on your activation roll.
Okay, so just to make sure, since this is our first combat, I just want to make sure I'm getting it right. We have a major and a minor action.
Major and a minor action, and moving is a minor action.
Gotcha. Okay. So for my minor action, and I have an ability to where I can attack at any part of my movement.
Yes.
Okay.
Most people, you minor action move and attack, or attack as a major action and then minor action move. You can move part of your movement and then do your major action to attack and then move the rest.
Okay. So I'm going to try to move in front of Zortan and use shockwave in the creature's direction, because I have to get a little bit closer, I believe, for it to be in the area of effect. Because it's an 8 yards long, and I think you said it was like 10 yards away from Zortan.
Yep.
So if I can move within range to get a shockwave to try to buy more time and create some space.
100%.
More reactionary distance.
Yes, 100%. So go ahead, spend your 4 power points and make your activation, your power test. So you'll be rolling 3d6 plus 4. Your target number is
12.
6, 3. That makes it.
Okay.
5, 6, 3. Yeah.
Cool. Yep, exactly. So yes. So we see Lieutenant Hand kind of just immediately, as soon as Zortan loudly reveals that there is a threat, Lieutenant Can leaps into action, sprints over in that direction, skids very slightly and very kind of cinematically, kicking up little flumes of snow in the direction of this creature, and immediately drawing its attention. It's a spider polar bear.
Oh dear Lord. Okay.
So it didn't have spidery legs, but it has. It looks like it has 8 legs. It's a little bit long, but it looks like it's quite beefy. And its face has kind of multiple clustered eyes, and it has this big giant mouth with these kind of, can't quite tell because you just get a glimpse, but the way that they're angled, they look a bit more like pinchers than fangs. And maybe they're dripping some sort of disgusting viscous fluid as it chitters at you as you run up in your direction, as all like 10 of its eyes focus in your direction. And then you gather this field around your biotic field around yourself, and then set off a chain of explosions at ground level. Just huge pops of snow flying everywhere, digging a furrow in this ground, cracking up ice, sending shards towards everyone harmlessly. And I'm going to need it to roll a dexterity acrobatics check to attempt to avoid the worst of it, see if it can jump out of the way. It is, for a creature of its size, it's shockingly dexterous.
Of course, naturally.
Great.
So this is not a great roll. That is going to be a 12. What is your power rating? Your force rating is 13, so it does not make the test. It gets close. Like, it starts to very quickly leap out of the way, but because its body is kind of long and maybe underneath the fur somewhat segmented, it gets like the first 2 segments out of the way, but the third segment is caught just square in the middle of this destructive explosion. So go ahead and roll your damage. It is caught in the 2d6.
Is it also 2d6? Okay.
2d6 plus 1.
Damn it. 3, 2, so 6.
Okay. It's fairly tough. It is not wearing armor. But it will soak some of that. And you can see like pieces of the fur kind of blown off. And it then is going to, its back end is picked up by the force of your biotic explosions, and it does a little bit of a somersault in the air. So go ahead and roll a d6 to see how many yards it's pushed away.
4.
4. So it flies 4 yards away, kind of backward, in the direction of your explosions, and maybe off a little bit to the side. But it is certainly harmed and slightly inconvenienced by your attack. You have also very successfully drawn its attention to you. And you are now the nearest combatant to it.
Right.
Yeah. It is going to run toward you because it doesn't quite have, you said 14, it doesn't quite have the movement to get to you. So it's going to have to run. So this thing, just all 8 legs just start churning into the snow. And it looks like it has 2 like long, almost sloth-like claws on the ends of its legs that dig into the ice and give it traction. So it skids for it rights itself and then skids against the ice for a second and then gets purchase and then picks up speed and momentum very quickly. It can't attack you fully because it has to run, so it's just going to barrel into you. So let's see how that goes. Ooh, that is not a good roll. And it's not doubles. So that is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does an 8 beat your defense?
Stand by.
It's in that right rail, right below your speed.
Defense is 14.
Oh, 14. 14 is my defense.
Yeah. So Lieutenant Can just does one of these I forget what the actual move is called, but where you do a cartwheel, only your hands don't touch. You just do a sideways flip, like a butterfly kick. But it's smart enough to kind of crouch low and wait until it's very close so it doesn't have a chance to course correct. And then you just see a very acrobatic wushu move from Lieutenant Can, kicking legs up in the air and then landing, 3-point landing in the snow a couple of yards away as this creature just barrels through and then skids with all of its legs kicking up, plowing into the snow, and then does a weird kind of 3-point hop around to the rest of you. It's now roughly 8 meters away, and it's chittering at you all madly. So, that was cool. Phalanx, you're next.
I'm gonna use my assault rifle and shoot it.
That seems like a good idea.
Straightforward. Kill it, thwart.
So I got a total of 17 to hit.
That will beat its defense. Go ahead and roll your damage.
9.
9 points of damage. So you pull out your assault rifle. This is a Matic, so it is it's higher caliber. It does a lot of it does more damage per bullet than some of the other assault rifles, but it does also fire fewer rounds. Does it have any? It does not. It's your Carnifex that ignores armor.
Yeah, it's just regular.
Okay. Yes. So you just strafe down its body, and you can see a few of the bullets probably deflect off of its chitinous hide, but you can see that at least several of them punch through, and there's steaming gouts of this kind of greenish, kind of chartreuse, mucusy gunk.
I'm sure it's not cerulean. It's my favorite color.
I'm sure. Comically, too bad it's not cerulean. Yeah, this kind of bubbling, viscous, snotty gunk starts spraying out of it.
Quick question.
Yes.
I know we're like 30 minutes away on foot from this facility. Are we within range for them to hear these gunshots?
I was thinking that too. I don't really have a
Yeah,
choice.
that's why I went for biotics.
I
Although I
can
don't
light
know
it on
really
fire,
how
or I can shoot it.
loud biotics are, but
I mean, those were boom, 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 boom
I
explosions.
assume, yeah, the the gunfire though is quite loud. So
Well, I mean, the alternative is to let it eat you. So it's not like,
I mean,
Yeah, and I'm not. The Elcor is not particularly strong.
I'm a
I have a
future
lot of health,
Spectre.
but not super strong.
so. But yes, Phalanx, you have performed effectively in wounding this creature. Up next is going to be our friendly Zortan.
So if I want to use my pistol, do I have to use my minor action to ready that?
No.
Okay. Then I'm going to use my minor action to aim,
Yes, good idea.
and I'm going to shoot it with my pistol.
Yep.
Which is 3d6 plus 4. Okay.
Yes. For reference, Zortan is using an M358 Talon, which is basically a shotgun in pistol form. It packs a very powerful punch.
Jeebus. That's 18 to hit.
100% hits. For damage, you are going to roll 2d6 plus 6. This, due to the nature of the weapon, it ignores 1 armor.
14.
Okay. As this thing rears towards you, this pneumatic arm pops out the side. It kind of comically looking, and then there's a powerful boom as this very tightly clustered spray of shavings of metal fly towards this creature and amputate one of its front limbs. It was a powerful blow.
You are quite the storyteller.
Thank you. All right, back at the top. Lieutenant Can.
okay. So I will use. So this thing's arm is like blown off, or
Yeah.
one of them.
Yeah, it just has
Okay.
7 more.
Oh, got it.
It's lighter now.
I will use.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
Sorry. Because I aimed, my attack roll gets a +1, but that doesn't matter because
Yeah,
anyway.
you
Okay,
already hit.
sorry.
Okay. For my. How close is it now to me?
To you, it's 8 meters.
Okay, I want to do for minor action and actually, I don't know if I want a flaming spider coming at me.
Oh, you're looking at Cat Dad. Incinerate is not your thing.
No, sorry, incendiary ammo.
Incendiary ammo. Got it. Yes, incendiary
Um,
ammo is the correct ammo quality to choose. Because this thing is organic.
Right. So if I
And
use
it
that
lives
as-
in cold, and probably cryo is not going to...
Yeah. So incendiary ammo with the shotgun.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll shoot that.
Okay. Yeah, you see Lieutenant Can pull out from that weird compact little backpack that everyone wears on the back. You pull out this thing that rapidly forms itself into a shotgun. Little pieces expanding. You flip a switch on the side, and a little glowing display of a flaming bullet pops up on the side, and you let loose with a spray of superheated metal. Go ahead and make your attack.
There we go. Okay, 264 is 12.
And did you add the +2 for having a shotgun focus?
I did not.
Okay,
So
yeah.
2642. So 14.
Did you add the +2 for accuracy?
No.
Yeah, sorry.
So 60.
Yeah, I forgot to cover this. So most ranged weapon attacks are accuracy based. So it is a 3d6 plus accuracy. And then if you're using one of the weapons that are your signature weapons, you get to add the +2 for the focus. So that's actually a +4 on top of your roll, which is more than sufficient to hit this creature. It is fairly dexterous, but it doesn't have any unusual bonuses to its defense, and it's just getting peppered. So go ahead and roll your damage.
3d6. 6, 4, 3. 13 plus 4, so 17.
18, 19 for the incendiary quality, unless you already added that in.
No, I did not.
And it reduces the armor by 1. So it's effectively, it does have 1 armor, therefore it effectively reduces, it does 20 points of damage, minus its toughness. You have hit something vital in this creature. Yes.
That was the shotgun, right?
Yeah.
Is 2d6 plus 7. Did you say plus 4?
Mine is 3d6 plus 4.
Your attack is 3d6 plus 4, but your damage is 2d6 plus 7.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. The 3d6
I
plus
was
4 is,
doing-
yeah. 2d6 plus 7 is
gotcha.
damage.
Okay.
What did you do, SJ?
It's fine. So go ahead and roll 2d6 plus 7 plus 2 for the incendiary. So 2d6 plus 9.
All right. 3, 6. So 9 plus 7, 16,
Plus 2.
17, 18.
Yeah. That, so almost the same roll because of the plus 7. And it ignores technically 2 armor, but this thing only has 1. So I'll pull that back by.
Well, it would be 19, 20, right? It would be 20 because it's plus 4 since it's shotgun
Nope.
and accuracy. No. Oh, no,
That's
this is the damage,
yeah.
not the attack.
Damage
Okay,
is just whatever's in the damage column.
Got it.
Cool. So, but still, it's a minor difference in the total amount of damage that it does. You hit this thing in one of its thoraxes and blow off a big chunk, and you can see this kind of grayish, sickly-looking chitin or hide or some weird combination of both with this hair on it just kind of spin off into the distance, trailing sticky strings of this disgusting yellowish green snot. And you can see on the inside just weird tissue and organs. There's a very powerful kind of rotten fish smell that is super duper gross. For Zortan, it smells like ennui. Through convergent evolution, it just happens to smell like a very specific, nuanced emotion.
Okay.
in the scent speech of the Elcor. So, but it is still filled with hunger and rage. So it is going to fling itself at someone. Not sure whether it's going to fling itself at the shotgun or the assault rifle or the largest target. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is going to go for the metal person.
Smart.
Who knows? So it is going to come barreling towards you. It is close enough that it can get up to you and attempt to hit you. No doubles. However, that is a 17. Does a 17 beat your defense phalanx?
Yes.
All righty. It is going to do 10 points of damage. This is impact damage. Because you do not have your Shrug It Off combat ability applied, it is going to first be reduced by your impact armor rating, which is a 4. And then is going to be reduced by your toughness, which is a 2. So you will basically mitigate 6 points of that damage. So you will take 4 points against your health,
Okay.
reducing it from a 22 to an 18. So it does. It like none of your vital systems are damaged. It's probably largely cosmetic, but it does connect with a very, very powerful blow. Excellent. And it is, in fact, Phalanx's turn. You are right there in front of it.
Mm.
It is snarling and chittering. It's probably trying to... As it clawed at you, it then tries to, like, pinch you with its pinchers. Like it's trying to inject you with whatever the stuff is that's dripping from its pinchers, but it can't really get purchase on your metal exoskeleton. So it just makes this horrible kind of fingernails on a chalkboard screeching sound as it's dragging its pinchers across your frame, trying to find purchase.
Right, and I'm unaffected from that because
It doesn't. It didn't
Machine.
bite. It didn't bite. It just clawed.
yeah, but even the sound of
Oh no.
machine.
Yeah, you're just like whatever.
Yeah, I guess I'll just
I mean, you could drop a frag grenade at your feet. That would certainly hit it.
aren't I close to the group
It
though?
would hit all of you. That's a 15-foot radius blast.
I think he was sarcastic.
Yeah. I mean, I was being correct. You absolutely could do that. I wouldn't recommend it. But your choices are basically you have an assault rifle in hand and you have your Omni Blade.
Right.
And you have focuses, effectively proficiency, but you have focuses in both.
Yeah. I'll just use my assault rifle again.
Cool. So you roll your 3d6 plus 6 to attack.
Mm-hmm.
How much?
20.
Oh, yeah. Any doubles?
No.
No sense? Okay. 20 is so much more than you need to hit this thing. So yes. Now roll your 2d6 plus 6 damage.
11 damage.
If you would like, we could... do you have... Yeah, you have Incendiary Ammo. You did not take a minor action, so you could have used your minor action to activate the Incendiary quality for this round to do a little bit more damage. And to bypass armor.
Um,
You don't have to. I'm just saying it. You have the minor action. You have the action economy to have done it.
no, I'm not going to do that.
Okay. So 11 damage. Armor is not reduced. Math. However, it doesn't even matter because Phalanx, as this thing has grabbed a hold with its pincher claws and its remaining front appendage and is now trying to almost delicately probe the exoskeleton for an entry point to inject something disgusting. Phalanx just mechanically whips the mattock up like directly underneath what would be this creature's jaw and just rapid fires 5 or 6 rounds and effectively pulverizes the thing's head. It may not be particularly intelligent, or perhaps it just has an unusual biology, because the body continues to like sort of drag itself around in a circle and kind of randomly reach out, but it's clear that that was a death blow and it is no longer capable of attacking you. So it kind of makes a disgusting burbling sound, sprays really nasty sticky goo, probably, well, for sure all over Phalanx. Good news is the shower curtain blocks a lot of it, but you all kind of get splashed. It's almost like a resin. It's like a slimy, snotty resin. It's very, very sticky on contact with the air. And it definitely smells like a barrel of rotten fish. But after a few moments, the shuddering of this beast quiets down. I mean, it's still kind of twitching there, but you have successfully defeated the foe. You have made a lot of noise, and you are covered in very, very smelly gunk. What do? You loot the
I
body?
can't smell, so I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Body.
Yeah. I mean, it might have some glands or something that are super valuable. You don't know. Do you just like scan it for credits because that's apparently a thing? It's like, oh, new life form, scan, and then 100 credits appear in your account.
I'm gonna say to them like, our cover's probably blown. We need to regroup elsewhere, get ready for some scouts to come see what that commotion was about.
Oh, should we prepare an ambush?
I would, if we can. Am I able to? Because Drell are kind of humanoid. If I like were to take an operative, and would I be able to change into their armor? Would I fit? Basically,
Uh,
is what I'm asking.
your body plan is similar enough that it's really just more if they have a close enough size to you. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, your hands and feet are a little bit weird, but
Right.
you could, for example, use your boots and your glove sections, and it would probably pass everything but a close inspection. Like the color might not match, but from a distance, you could certainly look like you're wearing Alliance military.
Just keep my arms crossed.
Right. Yeah. So that's certainly possible.
That's not the worst plan.
Cool.
Then I can go back and possibly report. It's a long shot because it's not very likely it'll be, a female with a voice I can match. But it's best to
But
out on
and
shady
Drell
list.
voices and human voices don't sound the same.
Yeah.
But maybe because it's all mediated through the speakers and the helmet, someone might not notice. You could give it a try. Your
Romney tool to
your
modulate your
techie
voice.
friend could potentially help with that. But first, you need to figure out what you're doing.
Right.
You assume that someone has probably heard the. I mean, you're not right there, but your tactical assessment is that there was a lot of semi-automatic weapon fire and some biotic explosions that weren't necessarily visible from the base, but that anyone outside probably heard.
Are we still behind like a
Yeah.
little snow bluff type
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll probably like sit and wait for somebody to come out. Maybe even
It
so
sounds
if
like prepping an ambush.
right.
Okay.
Phalanx can like make himself into a box, right? Like most Geth when they deploy, they can like, make themselves small.
Yep.
So we could like cover him with a little bit of snow so that he's covered. You could in theory use your
Cloak.
cloak.
Once they get
And
close.
if I'm under him enough, would the cloak cover me?
No.
No, yeah.
You need the
Maybe I
tarp
can
for
hide.
that.
I feel like you could lay down and cover yourself with snow. It's
Yeah.
you don't have to overthink this.
I will say, based on your previous tracking roll, Phalanx, you can see the creature's tracks, and you can see that they lead toward the nearby peaks, like up into this kind of low mound towards a nearby rock outcrop. Maybe.
Are you trying to nudge us towards its nest? Are you crazy?
I'm simply saying this is something that Phalanx sees.
I'm not hiding. I'm not doing a Star Wars style hiding within the thing either. That thing smells awful.
Oh yeah, I don't recommend it in this particular case, but yeah.
I could maybe is there any like smaller cover around that I could maybe be a little bit of a distance away from the group?
You're either going to have to move a good a decent like 50 yards away towards the nearest rock outcroppings, or you're going to have to cover yourself in snow.
50 yards isn't that bad. If it's a 30-minute walk from where they are,
yeah,
even in a vehicle, I feel like I could make that.
Is there a trail from the base to where we are?
No. I should say you did not observe when you were using your optical scanner. You did see that there were some recent tracks from the vehicles. They didn't appear to come in this direction. They were heading toward what would be the south, and you are currently west of the facility.
So what I would say plan an ambush. When they come up, you guys should be hidden enough. I'll be hidden in the back as sort of like either the reserves or maybe to get their attention back turned so that guys can subdue them.
Yeah.
Are we
Move on comms. So
trying to knock them out, or are we blowing them
I
away
would
because you want their
like
armor?
their armor, exactly. So if you see one similar in size, don't make a mess of them, please.
Okay.
Okay. So
I
you're
have a problem with this plan.
And if you can take them down quietly, try to do that, because then just more gunfire is going to raise probably even more suspicion.
potentially.
Okay.
Yeah, like always send out a patrol and more shots just happen. Yeah.
What does the Geth consensus that comprises Phalanx have to say about this?
That sounds like a normal tactic for you organics. However, there is a dead wild organic here that will indicate that as there is no predator around when the humans come here, they will be expecting an ambush.
Do you have any ancient Earth film records in your database?
Calculating.
Because when you leave a dead animal on the ground, people always run up to it to investigate.
Right. That's my plan is they're going to look to try to see what happened because they're not going to be able to see necessarily from a distance exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And even so, they may think we ran off, which they may see my tracks in the snow and look my way, which is when you guys can subdue.
Yes. You do have some information from the interactions between Legion and certain humans, and they do appear to be quite foolish. They do tend to put themselves in very strange situations. So the information provided by Zortan is not inconsistent with the data possessed within your consensus. It is tactically flawed, but consistent with human behavior. What happened to this thing? Oh, it's got gunshots in it. I wonder if there's anyone around here with a gun. Blast, 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 die, die, die. Yeah. Very human. Again,
We don't have many options here.
and also humans, you guys know humans are dumb.
If you have a better plan, let me know. But we're running out of time.
All right. Yes, we agree. This plan will work fine for now.
Against humans, for sure.
Yes,
Maybe not against Geth, but...
So, positioning. And we're not using tactical maps because, you can run it with this system, but it's unnecessary because of the cinematic nature. There is this giant beast slowly leaking disgusting stuff. Where does Phalanx collapse down into a little pod?
How small of a pod am I?
I think you can get down to about 2 feet tall. You can collapse quite a bit. 2 or 3 feet.
About...
Or you could just lie down.
I will lay down next to the dead thing.
Okay. And then either Lieutenant Condor or Zortan will kick kick a little bit of snow over you so you are concealed.
Well, I also have all the entrails and the stickiness, the blood or whatever on me. So I look like I'm wounded, and I can dim my light maybe a bit.
Sure. All right. Zortan, how are you concealing your giant self?
Concealment wise, I don't know, I guess to wait until we think we detect someone, and at that point activate the tactical cloak so as to not waste the power points. Positioning wise, I think wherever Lieutenant Kond is, I would be opposite, so one of us is flanking.
Okay,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so on your Peaks here, dead creature here, Phalanx kind of almost right beside the thing, and you're going to be on this side because Kond is going to be over here by the Peaks.
Sure.
So,
and it doesn't have to be equidistant or anything. So that if Khan gets their attention, I can shoot him in the back, basically. Or if
Let's just make sure we utilize safe gun practices and are not within, like, if you're shooting straight, I should not be within a straight line. It should always be slightly canted because bullets can pierce and misses can hit
Candid.
people behind it.
That sounds like your problem.
It goes two ways, man. It goes two ways. Keep that in mind.
Mechanically, how do we subdue someone versus murdering their faces?
Tell me.
That's a good question. Tough for you guys.
Yeah, just tell me. I mean, if you want to subdue someone, I mean, you can hit them, which is going to be a fighting check. The challenge is none of you are really well. Okay, so Phalanx is going to be probably the best at fighting, particularly with an Omniblade. But an Omniblade does, I mean, it pokes holes in people.
You're made of metal, just like
sometimes.
Yes.
Cartoon style.
But you can effectively, shoot him in the legs or whatever. It's not like it's, I mean, again, it's cinematic. It's your intent.
I see that we can, as a major action, instead of trying to damage our opponent, we can focus on a specific action stunt, like subduing an enemy. Are we going to utilize that, or are we just winging it?
So there's a stunt attack, which is an attack that if it's successful, I believe, if I recall correctly, you don't do any damage, but you do generate stunt points that you can then use for other things. Like, for example, it's intended to like intimidate or scare away without damaging. But we can be somewhat loose with that. I think, though, given the mechanics, probably the easiest thing to do is to fight it out and then just like pull the blow.
Okay. I'm good.
Cryo, the cryo ammo quality would also potentially help because it would slow them down and reduce their toughness. Cool. Interesting that you have the sniper up close and the up close fighter far away, but that's fine.
I thought about being far away, but if I need to close the distance to assist someone somehow, it's going to take me forever. So
yes. Slowly.
I don't want to get that far away.
Yes. All right. So your plan is to, at the moment, yes, you do, and this just takes a few moments because you're all quite skilled. So there's more table talk than there was actual character talk. You align on a plan. Can sprints over towards the nearby rock outcropping. You don't fall into a nest of spider bear eggs. They imprint as soon as they hatch. You could have had a pet, but oh well, that's fine. And they might be quite delicious and nutritious. You never know. Canon, they taste like shrimp. But all right, by the time you reach concealment, Cand, you all do hear the approach of one of these vehicles. And probably Zortan, since you're not hiding, you're going to use your cloak.
Yep.
You can probably peek over the edge and see that one of these vehicles is moving at a good clip toward you. But before they get within obvious visual range, I mean, you're not going to just stand there.
Right.
You hear the vehicle pull to a stop, and then you hear a door open as like maybe a little bit of a walkway extends. These are quite large vehicles. I mean, they're minibus size. And then you
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We don't need to steal a uniform if we can steal their vehicle.
Well, the plan is both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can drive. I get it.
Yep. Interestingly enough, you don't have driving as one of your focuses. You have piloting. They are separate focuses.
I do have a specialization of speed demon though, or the talent speed demon.
Speed demon does apply. It just doesn't give you a benefit on the roll per se. So You hear crunching, and then you hear that kind of attenuated, I swear there were gunshots out here. Yeah, boss says we need to check it out. Sounding like dumb humans. And you hear slightly uneven crunching sounds as these 3 individuals kind of slog their way up the side of this snowbank. And I assume that Zortan, before they reach the top, is going to activate Tactical Cloak.
Yeah, I would.
Before we do that, you have had a good maybe like 4 or 5 minutes. So I would like phalanx doesn't matter, I don't think, but for because you haven't used any of your PowerPoints, for Lieutenant Can and Zortan, please roll a d6.
I have 4.
You regain 4 PowerPoints.
2.
You
mean tech PowerPoints?
Nice.
I haven't used any since we rested.
Oh, okay.
I have
shot
that
my gun a couple
Oh,
times.
that's right. You haven't used it, so it was just Lieutenant Can. Some of you have. I'm going to say that you're still engaged in combat preparation, so you don't really have a time for rest and recovery roll. Cool. So you get some of your biotic points back as you kind of rest and center yourself in hiding, Canned. All right, these 3 soldiers with assault rifles. We'll say one of them has a shotgun. 2 of them have assault rifles. Crest, and very much as Zortan predicted, begin moving toward the only obvious thing they see, the carcass. Do they also see Zortan? Is a question of how successful your power roll is.
Dexterity stealth check.
Well, first you need to do a power test, so 3d6 plus 4, to see if you can successfully activate your cloak. Because there's a chance you might not. And spend the 4 power points to do it. Your target number is 9. So
Able to set my weapon to cryo ammo before all this combat starts.
it only lasts a round, so it's going to take a minor
Okay, never
action.
mind.
So I hit 9 on the dice, so 13 total, which
That will make your target number. It's a low chance, but it's possible there might be some interference or something. So yes, you activate your tactical cloak. Whoop, whoop, whoop. What it doesn't get rid of is your footprints in the snow. So as soon as you start moving, it'll be quite obvious. Would you reset that? No, I've got it recorded. Never mind. I took a copy. I just I don't want to have to recalculate what your maxes are, but we can always reset it.
I should make a mental note of what my max was.
Okay, perfect. So yes, you fade from view, and that will last you for 2 rounds, and then you may spend another 2 power points at the end of the second round to extend it another round. And you can do that until you run out of power points. But in combat, for narrative reasons, in combat, you are using a very, very intense cloaking protocol that's a heavy drain on power. Whereas if you were in a social setting, it would last longer.
Okay.
Under the assumption that people are more alert and might have combat scanners and things like that. So you have to use the advanced, more powerful version if you're in combat. So now you need to make a dexterity stealth check and add your force to set the target number to see if they notice you.
Why didn't you give me the stealth focus?
Elcor, man.
You
Still.
decided to be an Elcor infiltrator.
I'm not going to argue with the -1 dexterity.
Yeah.
I just feel like maybe stealth would have been a good. But then again, I could have designed the character myself, so I don't. Really
And I think it's hilarious that you're not very good at stealth.
Okay.
You know what?
3.
But you are standing still. Like you're not having to move. So I will give you effectively advantage. So you can roll basically roll your roll.
I got a 15, no stunts.
15, no stunts. Now re-roll the lowest die
Okay.
and take the higher of the 2.
It's still going to be 15. Then.
Okay. Cool. I'm just going to roll collectively for...
-1.
Oh, so 14.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to roll collectively for them. They are mooks. They don't appear to notice the 4 very conspicuous giant holes in the snow where your invisible giant body is standing.
I could think it was tracks from the spider thing.
It's possible. They don't notice the clouds of steam escaping from your weird face flaps as you breathe in the icy air. They are completely focused on the body of this creature. And then they move forward. So I will give one of you the ability to initiate combat. It's not technically how it works, but it's fine. We're playing it fast and loose here. So who is going to be the one to break ambush and begin doing things? I'll give you effectively a free round before we roll initiative.
How close are they to the dead animal? And
They're like 2 yards away. They're 2 yards from the far side of the other side of the animal's carcass. So they're 3-4 yards from you.
So I can't stab them.
Oh yeah, you could minor action move toward them and stab someone. Easy enough.
Yeah, I want one of them to initiate. That way, it seems like we're attacking from all sides. Like
that's kind of
there, and then I come in, and then yeah.
Yeah, all right. I guess I'll do that then.
Okay. So you stand up to your full height and then leap over. Barry, you vault over the creature's body and then rush towards one of them, extending your Omni Blade toward one. Do you want to pick one of the ones with the assault rifle or the one with the shotgun?
Shotgun.
Okay. Everything's called shotgun.
Maybe the one with a suit that doesn't fit me.
I didn't.
If any of these fit me.
So just roll attack then.
Yep. Roll your attack with your Omni Blade. That 3d6 plus 5 is calculated. Oh, you know what? I just now realized that I calculated your pluses, so we don't need to add anything additional to it. But that's fine. So it's just 3d6 plus 5 to attack.
Okay.
That counts your 3 strength plus the focus and Omni Blade is where the plus 5 comes from.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, sorry, you're 3 fighting.
It's 18 total.
Oh God, yeah, for sure. Completely overwhelmed this person's defenses. They are quite surprised to see. Like maybe they are on the lookout for ambush, but they weren't expecting Geth. So these humans kind of go and then like scramble backward a little bit as you just lunge forward and tap one of them right in the center mass. Go ahead and roll your damage. That's 1d6 plus 5.
While we were
11.
observing. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
11.
Whoo!
Max damage.
Wow. That is spectacular damage. It's basically
While we were observing them approach, did we notice if any of them are approximately the same build as Lieutenant Khan?
Yeah, let's say shotgun. Shotgun looks like the armor might fit.
Is he dead?
No.
Did we just kill him? Okay.
But badly wounded.
I do not understand. He only has a stab wound to the abdomen. He should be fine.
Right.
All programs are in your top area.
So this is 7. Okay, sorry. Cool. Yeah, and it just like pulls back. Oh, kill him, ambush. All right, now let's get initiative. No doubles.
It's just 3d6 again, right?
3d6 plus dexterity, and if you have an initiative focus, you add 2. So, and that only applies to phalanx.
Mine's a 13, but I got a stunt, and my stunt die is a 6.
Okay. We'll resolve that stunt in a second. Phalanx, what'd you get?
18.
And Lieutenant Khan.
So I got 115 plus 4, so 11. But it's a stunt because of the 2 1s.
Okay, and so you generated 4 stunt points. So what stunts would you like to invoke?
So it maxes out at 4 stunt points.
You can get up to 6, but it's whatever your whatever is on your stunt die.
That was 5. I rolled 115.
115.
Plus
Okay.
4 was dexterity.
Got it. So yes. So Zortan generates 6 stunt points. Khan generates 5 stunt points. So there's a lot of stunt points going around.
But low initiative.
So what's available to you, and we'll do it because this is more like a typical combat, we'll do it the normal way. You could momentarily, for this round, increase your initiative by 3, by 3 per SP spent. Yeah. So you could, both of you could theoretically add 9 to your initiative for this round to for sure be able to go before them.
I will use one of my points, one of my stun points, to add 3 to my initiative. I can do that, yeah?
But you can, if I'm recalling correctly, I believe you have to just pick a stunt. So like you can't layer
so I
like
can't
7
split up my
stunts.
stunts?
I don't believe so.
Oh, well, screw that then.
Yeah. The goal is to basically spend as much as you possibly can. So taking cover. You guys,
So one of the general combat stunts is insta-kill if the target's less than half health. Should I make that like an insta-subdue one shotgun guy? And is he under half
There's
health?
a knockout stun damage. If your opponent has less than half their health, you may roll to attack, oppose their constitution. If you win, they immediately fall unconscious.
Oh,
let's
Under
see.
general combat.
yeah. It's a 4.
Sure.
So I'll use, well, what's the combat order? I guess.
If you are going to be third.
So do I have to decide my stunt now, or can I decide my stunt when it's?
I'm gonna say you
done?
need to do it now, because technically,
Am I before or after SJ?
you are before.
Okay, then I will use the knockout.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure that initiative generates stunts, but I like the idea of giving you guys advantages and fun stuff at the beginning, and also giving the bad guys advantages. So we'll just say somehow we adapt the combat stunts to work.
Look, I rolled double ones. Give me some.
Yes, exactly. It's more fun. So you are going to basically barrel in and try to knock out shotgun.
Mhm.
Cool. And what are you doing for your stunt? Can't.
I'm probably going to do brutal strike because it's stun damage. Deals
Sure.
wound damage instead.
Sure.
I only need 2 points for that. Yeah.
That is not going to apply. So brutal strike is a stunt that allows you to transform stun damage, like from a stun gun, into deadly damage.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
But you know what? Why don't we just flip that around?
Okay.
And say that the reverse is also possible at the same cost.
Well, okay.
So you would basically turn your lethal damage into stun damage. It still goes against health, but it doesn't. When you max out on stun damage, you don't die. You just pass out. And figure out who you're targeting with that. So, however, up first then is Phalanx.
Yay! I'm gonna stab this guy again
Yes.
because he needs to be stabbed.
Yes. Well, she. That's fine.
I don't see genders. I'm a robot. So,
You mean Phalanx is an ally?
yeah. It's all the same. 21.
Oh, God, yes.
His armor's ruined.
Yeah,
And-
that's insane.
7 damage.
Beautiful. This is still technically impact. So 3. Okay. All right. It is their go. Hand is not visible. They did not perceive Zortan. So as far as they know, they are being attacked by a lone Geth. So we are going to have a shotgun. Does a 13 beat your...
Yep.
Okay.
Ouch.
He deserves that he ruined my armor.
That is 14 minus your ballistic minus your toughness. Which would be 10. Your ballistic armor is a 6. Your toughness is 2. No, sorry, 8. So 6. You take 6 health or wound damage. The assault rifles. First one is 9, which I don't believe beats your defense. This one just kind of like Geth, and then just sprays wildly towards you. Maybe a bullet ricochets off your exo shell, but doesn't do any damage. Then the second one is maybe a little bit more experienced, so it will minor action aim. Pull up its assault rifle and in short controlled bursts try to destroy you. However, the aim doesn't help that much. 12.
It's
It does help actually.
It was literally the difference between hitting and missing, it looks like.
8. Which you will soak all of.
okay.
I can't generate stunts to save my life.
So, the one that sprayed all over and missed completely, he didn't hit his ally?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, they're in a line, kind of. Like they step back and it wasn't like a critical miss. It's just that was the narration of them missing.
Gotcha. And talking to them is a free action?
Yeah.
Why are you shooting me? I was extending my hand for handshakes. Twice.
Wow.
They're momentarily disoriented.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a communication deception roll.
I think that's actually a stunt.
11.
Yeah. Okay. I will say you confuse some of them. Well, hold on. Let's. I'll give them an intelligence roll.
There's a general social stunt called patter. Your rapid fire words confuse your target, who must succeed at a perception empathy roll versus your communication deception, or automatically fail their next non-attack test against you.
Yep. There's a lot of like social combat and exploration and infiltration kind of themed stunts, but this is technically combat. I will say they don't suffer any penalties because you clearly attacked and stabbed one of them, but your insane banter confuses them momentarily. So yes. Next up is Zortan.
Okay, so my stunt was to try and knock out shotgun.
Yes, and you are currently still, unless you use a minor action and spend 2 power points, your cloak will dissipate, and if you attack, your cloak goes away. So Just so we're clear.
I mean, is stunting considered attacking? I had considered stunting to be an attack.
Yeah, because of the description of the stunt, I'm going to say, again, this is not exactly how the rules work, but I like it because it's cinematic. You invisibly barrel towards the shotgun, who luckily enough is now actually below half health. Was not before, but is now. You barrel into them, and just as you make contact, and shotgun is kind of in the middle of this group of three, and you come at a bit of an angle so you don't barrel over Phalanx, who's just now withdrawing the Omni Blade and then saying, we should be friends. This hulking behemoth just charges directly into this person, and they go flying, and they hit the snow, roll, and don't get up.
Okay, so we're not going to roll. We're not going to contest roll for this. I'm
going to say it was a stunt. It's fine. I may not always be so generous, but I like the idea of, and you guys had plenty of time to prepare. So
the stunt had a built-in contesting. That's
okay.
I just want to be fair.
Then we can do it that way. I wasn't actually looking.
I mean, I'd prefer to do it this way.
I'm going to say you guys got the drop on them.
Okay,
it's fine. I will not always be so generous because you're not currently in enemy territory. We'll say you have full control of the battlefield, so it's nicer and more cinematic. So yes, you barrel into this person, immediately knocking them unconscious as they fly like a limp ragdoll through the air, and then roll. They turn into a little bit of a snowball as they roll down the far side of this snow dune. Cool. And that was your minor action move and major action to barrel into them. So you are now in the midst of these folks, but you are also adjacent to Phalanx.
When can I use a tech power? Is that a minor action, or is that just sort of any time?
The power will dictate what it is. So or I should have dictated, assume unless it is noted otherwise that it is a major action. So consider it as a major action. Tactical cloak.
I'm thinking armor or sabotage.
I'm going to say you had to move to barrel into. So your move was your minor action, and your major action was attacking to knock this person out, which means
is my tech armor
it is
action?
It is a minor action, but you have spent your minor action.
Okay.
But you can certainly activate it at the beginning of next round.
Yeah, that's good.
Cool.
I'm just learning the system.
Yeah. And well, you know what? Again, I'm being very kind because we're just learning the system. You know how your powers work, and you knew that you were about to barrel in.
My confusion here is I haven't actually made an attack roll or anything yet.
Yes.
That stunt came off of my initiative roll. So.
I'm going to say because if you have the option, if you would like, that in addition to the major action of activating your cloak, you could have powered up your tech armor. Which just means that all you have to do to keep your tech armor up this round is as a free action spend an additional power point. So it'll cost you 2 power points, but at the start of the benefit is at the start of next round, you will have your tech armor up. And I think that's a reasonable thing for Zortan to have done.
Sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah. I mean, I built the characters, but I'm still not I'm also figuring out how they work because some of these things are things that don't exist in the modern age rule set. So cool. Yeah. So deduct 2 power points and you now have your tech armor up. Now, can't. What you going to do? You see one of them go flying. You hear Phalanx make a joke or something. And then
so only the shotgun guy has been attacked so far, right?
Shotgun lady is out.
Right. The other 2 haven't been hit at all. One's already shot. The other one hasn't.
Yes.
I think. Okay. So I'm going to go after the one that hasn't fired yet. I'm going to
I'm sorry. No, they both of the assault rifle ones fired.
Oh, they did?
One of them missed, however.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
That one seems a little bit more freaked out than the others.
Fair enough. Then I'll go after the one that hit, because in my mind, they're more of a threat.
Yep.
So I'll do cryo ammo
Yep.
as my minor action, and then I'll on my SMG because that has the most it has more range than my shotgun.
Yep.
Um,
Although your eviscerator, I mean, you're only 50 yards away, and your eviscerator has. I picked it because it has a very long range for a shotgun.
oh, gotcha.
It's the one that fires effectively a very tightly clustered group of flechettes. So you are within range to fire any of your weapons.
Okay, so I can.
And the shotgun does ignore one armor.
Yeah, I'll do shotgun then. That makes more sense.
Cool.
So it's
Are you advancing or are you firing from cover?
firing from cover because I already used my minor action to use cryo.
Yes. Perfect.
Nice. Not as nice. Not as nice. Okay. Plus. It's +4, right?
Yes, for your eviscerator.
Okay. So then.
Plus, oh wait.
Yeah.
Does the accuracy come into play?
It's already calculated in. I forgot that I already did the math. In other words, accuracy and the focus and the weapon does affect it, but on your character sheets,
Gotcha.
it's yeah.
Right. Okay. So 18.
Yeah, for sure. These guys are mooks.
That +4 is so nice.
Yeah.
I don't think my stunt really mattered because I don't think I knocked out anyway.
I mean, you could knock this person down as a result. I'll say, if you would like, you can knock them down prone.
Oh, do knock prone instead of the other one? Okay. Yeah.
It will cost them effectively a minor action if they want to stand next round.
Gotcha.
Prevents them from aiming.
Yeah, I'll knock them down because I like when charge knocks people down.
Yep.
Or when shotgun knocks them down.
So how much damage do you do?
Oh, I forgot about damage. Is it 3D? I'm trying to. I keep losing my place.
Eviscerator is 2d6 plus 7.
2d6. Okay.
Ignore one armor.
Oh, okay.
You're also going to reduce their
5.
toughness.
6, 5, 11, 18. So that's 18.
Oh, wow. So you rolled a 5 and a 6?
Yeah.
Jeez.
5 and 6.
18.
Or no, 6 and 5.
Yeah, 18, and it reduces armor by 1. This is ballistic, so... Wow.
So actually, maybe I do need that stunt. I'm not going to kill him.
15.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter.
14.
I don't really care about knocking them out or killing them. I don't have a problem killing them. I just wanted to save armor, but if I'm doing a shotgun, there's going to be holes in the armor.
We saved one for you.
Yeah.
Did you?
They rolled down the hill.
Yep. And that's the one that has the lady. That's the lady. It's fine. Because you know how it is. Shepard gets shot all the hell up, and all there is maybe a little bit of a mark on the armor. It's like, oh, I'm almost dying, but my armor is completely intact.
It's fair. We'll just say that, they got attacked by wildlife or something.
Yep. That is however, very, very powerful attack. And they are not out, but they are badly, badly injured. And they are knocked a couple of yards back and land on their butt in the snow and begin to slowly bleed into the snow. But they are still active. All right. Great round. Back at the top with Phalanx. Your stabbing buddy / the person you were trying to make friends with deep, penetrating handshakes is now several yards away, lying unconscious in the snow. One of the person who shot you last time has been blasted from a distance by a sniper shot of a shotgun. And then there's one person who's directly next to you. So you have a couple of targets you could choose. You could choose the one who's on the ground, or you could choose the one who's just right next to you.
Okay.
if it helps, the one that's on the ground is going to have a bonus to their defense against ranged attacks because they are a smaller target.
So if I were to attack him, it'd be wise to just stab him with the Omni Blade.
If you want to move up to them, you can stab them with an Omni Blade, and they will have a penalty to their defense. However, much like 5e, if the one with the assault rifle has like an Omni Blade or something, they can try to stab you on the way away. They don't appear to have any melee weapons, however.
So there's one directly next to me. That's
There's one
the
directly-
scared one.
That's the one that missed you last time. And then there's the one that's a few yards away, lying prone. That one would be easier for you to stab.
Can I tell him to drop his weapon, or I will stab him?
The one on the ground?
Now he doesn't want to kill people.
Yeah, why are you holding back now?
He's about to just kill
I have a plan.
murk some dock worker.
I would say you can certainly make a communication. What's the word? Oh no, it's actually it's strength intimidation, which is a weird thing. You don't have the intimidation focus, but it is keyed off of strength, not communication, and it will be contested by their empathy, which is not awesome. No stunts, dang.
I got an 11.
So you stalk over to this one that's laying, the one that
Nope.
just had no. Oh, the other
No,
one.
the other one.
Okay,
The one that's scared.
the one that missed last time. You hold your Omni Blade toward it and tell them that they should drop their weapon, or you're going to stab them in the eyeball, or something. Some sort of very gruesome description of what your Omni Blade will do to their optic nerve. And yeah, they drop the assault rifle and hold up their hands. You're not very charming, but you are scary AF.
And then he just stabbed his buddy twice in front of him.
And there's a giant Elcor, and the other one just got shot real bad. So
And
yes,
I just kind of cover, because he dropped the assault rifle. Can I just cover it with my foot so nobody grabs it?
you can step on it, kick it away, do whatever you want to with it. Yeah, for sure. We'll say minor action. You just plant your foot on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything else.
Cool. All right. It is their go. The one that is next to you, I'm going to give him. Yeah. I'm going to give him a willpower test. What did you get on your intimidation roll there? It was like a 12?
It was an 11.
11? All right. He looks like he's about to rabbit. And we'll just say that the red glow of your eye just gets a little bit brighter, and he thinks better of it. He might need to clean the inside of his armor. But he is smart enough to not run, because he figures you're going to stab him in the back, so he just stays still. The other one is unconscious. This one is going to spend a minor action to stand, and then is going to... doesn't really care about his buddy. His buddy is unarmed. You will hear that attenuated voice from the helmet. Coward! And he's going to actually fire at the largest target.
Me, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Because he figures he can probably hit you easier. And he's correct. He can. You're literally a barn door.
Mm-hmm.
I keep getting doubles, but not stunts. This is the whole thing with the age system. 14, I think, is going to beat your defense.
Yep.
And 12. That is.
This is the first time I've been attacked, so explain to me how this works.
So, layered defenses.
Yes.
The first thing that comes off is the ballistic rating of your tech armor, the one that was a B.
4, right?
Yep. The next thing that comes off is the ballistic rating of your regular armor, which is another 4. And then finally, it's your toughness, which is quite high.
How come my shield just has a 1d6 in there?
Oh, have you guys turn on your shields? We'll do that next combat.
Okay, so we'll just ignore shields. Okay, so it was 12.
I'm saying that you aren't using your shields because they are easily detectable, and it would be very difficult for you to ambush them if you had your shields active.
So 12 minus 4 minus 4 minus 4.
Yeah.
3?
Yep. 12 minus, is your toughness 4? Oh, that's right, because you have all the cons.
I have a very thick hide.
Yes. So effectively, the bullet bypasses your tech armor, bypasses your actual armor, and then just kind of plinks off your skin. And you are completely unharmed. And because I didn't generate any stunts, I can't do a short burst.
3. It was 12 minus 4 minus 4 minus 4.
Which is 12.
Oh, yeah. I can count.
Meg is somewhere going, yeah, math. Yes. So it's. I mean, he just into you, and it's just plink, 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 and then the slightly elephantine Elcor head with the beady eyes looks at him and says,
Now I know how Licity feels.
Like smugly.
"Gotta have that battle cry."
Modestly, you'll have to do better than that.
Like it. And then it kind of. He is angry. It is now your turn. In fact, Zortan.
So we got one person left.
You have one person who is currently unarmed. I mean, he's got a pistol, but
Okay.
his hands are up.
He's not an immediate threat.
Correct. You have one person who's unconscious, and you have this person who's gravely injured, but has just unloaded a full clip into you to no effect, and appears quite irritated by that fact.
Yeah, I guess I'll just aim and shoot him with my heavy pistol.
All right, the M358 Talon pops out on one of these little arms, and then you're going to fire at him. Do it. 3d6 plus 4 to attack.
Plus 4, 17, plus 1 for the aim, right? So 18.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Easy. Then do your 2d6 plus 6, and that will ignore 1 armor.
14.
14. Yep. You will have to do better than that. Kaboom. And then just flies back. Like one of those like really unrealistic scenes, and they clearly have a line attached to them, and they're just yanked like way harder than they ought to be. Arms and legs just flapping. Flies a good
visual is just killing me.
Flies a good 10 yards in slow motion with like blood spray splattering everywhere, and then crumples in an obviously dead position on the ground. Unless you would like to somehow magically pull the blow.
No.
I think you just like, and then splat. Done. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, the round is not over. Lieutenant Can, what do you do?
Can I ask what the hell Phalanx is doing?
Sure. Free action.
Yeah, Phalanx, what is your plan with this guy?
It is a military compound. There has to be it's locked. We need a way
We're
in.
taking him as a prisoner.
Yeah,
We're taking him
good
back as a
intel.
guest.
Yeah, intel makes sense to. We need someone to question to figure out layout of the facility and everything. All right, fair enough. All right, so I'll come out with my weapon drawn and start walking over towards them.
Okay.
But on this guy, just in case he tries anything.
Yeah. We'll just kind of obviously shaking. Just standing there. Please don't kill me.
Yes.
Well, if we don't have to, do we have to?
No. I was gonna get real gross.
Right.
I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
I like the spirit. Maybe tone it down just a little.
Yeah, no, that's not canon. I have kids. Don't kill me.
Okay. Kids or not, don't really care. What I do care is what you know about this facility.
It's just an Alliance research center. It's medical. Yeah.
Medical.
Yeah.
See, we've been told otherwise.
There's
It'd be a shame if we found out you were lying, is what I'm saying.
There's nothing of, I mean, I guess if you're a physician or something, it's valuable, but there's not like, I mean, it's just all nerds and research and stuff.
How do you guys usually get into the facility? Do you use like cards, scanner, code words?
There's a guard station at the main lab entrance. They just watch on the CCTV, and I mean, the door's usually open.
Okay.
The doctors almost never go outside. So
anything we should know about the facility? Because if it's a medical facility, there's no issues here. But we're going to be checking it out.
Can I just walk closer to him? I just want to like stand there with my big, large fists and just.
Yes. Well, why not? Zortan, give me a strength intimidation roll.
Okay.
So that'll be a
surprisingly not strong.
Well, let's see. We have a +1. +4 is an amazing bonus, by the way, and you each have a +4 in something. So that's like nearly superhuman.
9.
Okay. I'm gonna give him. I'll even apply a penalty from being already intimidated and cowed and disarmed. Cool. No, man. We just heard the gunfire and explosions and came out. There's not even that many guards. It's just a medical facility. Yes, Phalanx.
Hell redeemed a major boon.
Oh, hell. How dare. How very dare hell. All right. Yeah, he's lying.
Checks in the mail, hell.
You don't know to what extent he's lying, but he pauses just long enough that you think that your attempt to further scare the truth out of him was not successful.
Like maybe he's in a narrative mode here.
Yeah. We don't need rounds unless someone wants to attack him. We are not in rounds.
Certainly willing to threaten to attack him.
I would suggest Khan search him. I probably wouldn't be very good at it myself, but I would.
I would say punch him in the face a bunch. I'm trying to search.
This is actually from.
I'm going to disarm his pistol first, like his weapons. So I'm going to make sure all of any other weapons he's hiding, pat him down, and then search. But obviously, get rid of the pistol
whisper. First. Perhaps you should search him for intel.
Yes. It's a standard Predator pistol, kind of standard Alliance issue, and that and his assault rifle were the only things the only weapons that he had. I mean, he probably has like a combat knife or something in the boot just in case. So yeah, it's easy enough to relieve him of his offensive weapons. He does have a kind of a standard issue Omni tool, which is capable of communicating back. But unfortunately, it's super obvious when you try to activate it. So he still has his hands up, so he hasn't moved to try to activate it to communicate with base.
And Zortan, can you look to see what you can find in his Omni tool?
Yes, I would like to hack it.
Cool. Do it. Gonna hack or gonna bypass?
I'm gonna hack.
Okay. That is gonna be an intelligence security.
Oh, not great. 12.
For narrative's sake, I will tell you this thing has very sophisticated anti-intrusion measures.
So can we say the connection is made, but like I'm met with a security system, like a firewall or whatever, that I then have to bypass?
Sure.
Okay. So I would like to try and bypass.
All right. It will unlock the device if successful. You won't get like the password. You won't get like persistent access to it or be able to access it again. So I'm going to say this is going to be spend your power points, make your power test, and I will apply a small penalty to the power test given the sophistication of the encryption.
I got an 11. 12. 12.
Okay.
Power test.
Okay. For sure 12, not 11.
For sure 12.
Okay. It doesn't matter. You are unable to bypass it.
Okay.
But you do spend the power points.
Right. Of course.
Yep. It is running. You are just through normal course of business relatively familiar with bog standard Alliance technology, and the encryption this Omni tool is running on is unfamiliar. It's clearly of human design, but it's a new protocol, but it's not one that you've encountered before.
Not to do damage, but for the purposes of intimidation, I would like to punch him in the gut and say, matter of factly, this Omni tool's level of sophistication is well beyond Alliance standard issue. Stop lying.
In the helmet. It's super gross. That is just what they gave us when we were stationed here. I don't know, man. But there's like medical secrets and stuff. They don't want us taking any scans. I can't even access half of this thing.
Contradictingly. Well, show us then.
Okay. I should give him a willpower roll.
Oh, crap. He could call for help. I made a mistake. You still have your weapon trained on him, Can't?
Still have my own
I
tool.
mean, Failing still has his Omni tool out too.
Well, he just tip. See, it's just like access to the CCTV and codes to ping the doors. Like I can't even access the video recording capabilities. Even basic scans are locked out.
Is the Omni tool the L-Core use specific to the L-Core? Like, could I control his Omni tool with my...
Through your Omni tool, yes.
I would like to...
But yeah, your interface is different.
Can I copy the data that's on there? Like, can I copy the...
Because you hacked it? Sure. Well, he has opened it up. So it is now... He effectively put in the password. So, yes.
I'm just looking for a Mass Effect way it makes sense of saying, jotting it down with a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Information, sir.
Yeah, sure. And
I'm just the tech guy.
and based on the readings that you're getting, what he is saying is accurate, that a significant portion of the OmniTool's functionality is locked behind a much more complex encryption. Yeah, I just have I have super basic access.
Okay. I'm just the tech guy at this point. I did my thing. It's up to you, Gand, if you want to beat him up.
I do.
So
How many other guardsmen are at the facility?
oh, there's just 6, 5, 4. You see him move his helmet, and you see like grossness on the inside because of the but he's just 6 others. 5. I mean 4.
All right, four's not bad. We can do 4.
How many levels of the compound are there?
Just 3. That matches your visual inspection.
So describe the general layout. You said there's a guard station to the main lab. The main lab is where...
It's the big central block, yeah.
Okay.
And there's a large kind of more permanent looking 3-story windowless enclosure kind of in the center of this complex. And then there's these modular pieces that are all 1 story, but some of them are stacked on the others. That form a slightly asymmetrical kind of set of outbuildings, all of which are connected by walkways. Most of the walkways are covered. The only large walkway that isn't covered is the kind of C-shaped walkway that goes out from the left wing of this compound out to the shuttle pad and then back around.
Okay.
And it's raised a good 3 yards off the ground. You know, it's a Mass Effect battle map. With the railings you can duck behind and the random crates sitting out in the middle of nowhere for no reason.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to go into that facility and make sure everything's on the up and up. You're going to be out here. Right? And you're not going to be able to do anything.
But
you need to really hope we find you.
There's spider bears out here.
Yeah, so you better hope we get it done quick. So the more information we have, the faster we can get this operation going. And and if you say what you say is true, it's totally fine. If what you say is not true, it doesn't really matter anyway, because I'm just going to leave you. Gonna be honest.
I just don't want to die.
Yeah, well, great. If that's the case, I mean, hopefully, we get in, we get out because your information was good. We come back and get you. We'll let you go. And then we're on our way.
Cool. Sure. Whatever you say. Just don't tell them I told you anything.
Nah, we wouldn't do that.
How many non-guard personnel are in the building?
I don't know, like 15 or 20. Just a bunch of eggheads. Like they're usually wearing like face masks and atmospheric breathe. I don't know how it all works, but there's like containment stuff. There's like a whole areas where we don't go because it's off limits. Like we don't go in the labs.
Is there any way to lock down the facility from within the facility? Does it have that level of security?
Yeah. There's like breach detection, and there's a manual lockdown in the security center. There's probably one in the director's office.
Okay.
Irritated. So when my associate asked you if there was anything you wanted to tell us and you said no, none of this came to mind.
No, man, I'm just sitting out here freezing my nuts off with a couple of my friends that are dead. Sorry.
They are sleeping.
That guy is not sleeping. I can see Steve's insides, man.
That is part of human yoga.
It's not. You're crazy. What? This is a Geth. This is a Geth. What are you guys doing with Geth?
Look, he's still learning. Okay, he thinks student driver.
Learning to kill people. Yeah, stab him over and over. That's the weirdest handshake.
No,
the weirdest handshake I've ever seen.
Gonna, fender benders here and there. It's we're working it out.
So let's remove his Omni tool, bind him, and leave him.
Sure.
Yep.
No problem. He will 100% be eaten by a spider bear, but that's fine.
I'm not for that. I'm sure it's fine.
It's fine. I mean, you've already murdered, so it's okay. So yes, you with the Omni tool, even in its mostly lockdown state, it is sufficient to get you access to, and I mean, you can just copy the access codes. So you do have access to their vehicle, and you do have access to 2 suits of armor, one of which is significantly more gross than the other.
Can Zortan fit in the vehicle?
Sure.
Okay.
I will say
It was
you
a
have
large
you
vehicle.
have and you have to pull some crates out.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I can fit in either armor. One might just be like a little big.
This is a little gross.
Yeah, one of them
I know one's
has
gross. The better fitting one's probably really gross, right?
the better fitting one is the person who had the shotgun, and it just has some scorch marks where it was punched.
Oh, okay.
The other one has a big chunk blown out, and it currently has entrails spilling out of it. So
Yeah, I'll take the first one.
yeah. So you strip the armor off of the lady with the shotgun. She is still conscious. She probably needs medical attention. If you leave her out here in her skivvies in the snow, she will almost certainly die of exposure.
Well, she can have my parka.
Okay, so you take off your parka, wrap her up in it.
We
We'll put her next to the other guy. As long as she's bound, take her Omni tool. She doesn't have, yeah.
Okay, but still,
give him a little hope. Fine. Maybe the spider bears will chew on the guy with the entrails out
true.
already.
And you never know. You might need witnesses. You might need testimony, depending upon what you find. Right. But at least this one guy that you're talking to doesn't appear to know a lot about what's going on. Or maybe it really is just a boring research facility and your intel is wrong.
Which would be unfortunate because we just killed people.
Because you just attacked an Alliance facility, if that's true. A very lightly armed Alliance facility.
That's okay. They won't believe it anyway. What are they going to say? Geth and Elcor and a Drell stormed in here? No one's going to believe that. That's stupid.
Oh, this Elcor was an infiltrator? It's like, come on, dude. Lay off the spice.
We used non-lethal to save the armor, not the person, just to be clear.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's a little uncomfortable. You were for sure going to want to use your gloves and boots. Because I don't think Drell have, if I remember correctly, they don't have 5 digits.
Right, it's like fused middle fingers,
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. So it would be tough it'd look weird to wear it. But you can, the colors don't match perfectly, but it's fine. So I'm hearing a little echo of myself. Anyone else?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Anyone in chat?
I can pull up stream real quick.
Sorry for the pause, but I assume that Duck or Hell or someone would have let us know.
I don't hear it on stream.
Okay.
Wasn't my cat purring, was it?
No, it's intermittent and it's just me, so who knows? Probably something on my end. As long as it's not on stream, it's good. So anyway.
I heard something's coming through.
Okay. So, something is coming through. Thanks, Beardar. Yeah. And now it's not. So it just stopped for some reason. So unless one of you is listening through speakers, who knows? Yep. But it has stopped, so we'll just keep going. We'll just keep going through. So, what are you going to do? It's significantly faster to get to the facility now that you have a vehicle.
Yeah, I'm driving.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
I'm driving. I've proven to be great at driving.
Pulls out a frag grenade.
Situation? When have you driven?
I had to get to the Citadel.
Citadel's in space.
You can still drive in space.
Well, this is on a terrain vehicle, not a flying shuttle.
I mean, it technically exists in 3-dimensional space. That's accurate.
I mean, yes, but this is there is a difference. So I have military training, so I'm going to take this one. I think it's better if you maybe I think you should maybe hold on to like the bottom just in case like someone comes out and then you can like sneak attack them. I think that's a better use for you. You know?
The bottom underneath.
Yeah, like outside the ship where I can't hear you. Like outside underneath.
It's a tactically sound
Exactly.
suggestion.
Always
How
be
low to
prepared.
the ground is it?
Oh, there's like 3 or 4 feet of clearance. This is a very high riding vehicle.
All right, I will spider crawl underneath.
Oh yeah, super creepy
Perfect. You're
too.
doing great, man.
I'll say Phalanx just like
Glad
drops
you're on
down
the
on
team.
all fours and then
Oh, that get thing, yeah.
grudge crawls underneath and then clings like a creepy little spider. Yes, and then you move forward and probably accidentally hit some snowdrifts. But nothing to dislodge.
Yeah.
Phalanx. But you pull up into like it's not even really a parking bay. But you can just pull up into you can tell from the tire tracks that this is where this thing was parked. There's only 2 vehicles. And you don't see anyone on guard. You don't see a patrol. It looks, I mean, it's in good shape, so it doesn't look abandoned, but as far as you can tell, there are no people.
Nice. Okay. So we need to get into the guard room first, is my plan. Problem is, Elcor stands out quite a bit. Geth stands out quite a bit. I mean, I got some armor to go in. I'm taking a bit of a risk going in alone, but I've done a couple of these missions. I could probably handle it. And you guys are as backup as needed. Come in, send the cavalry. Should we need to.
I will remind you that the Omni tool, the guy that you left behind, he did say that it was used to access the CCTV. Zortan.
Yeah, so I can keep an eye on Canned.
Or
CCTV.
you could conceivably deactivate it or
Loop it.
direct it or loop it or something.
Could I do both? They do that in Hollywood. They loop the feed and then take the live feed themselves to keep an eye on it.
Sure. That is going to be I would allow you to spend a bypass, or you're just going to need to roll. I'm just going to say it's intelligence computers. It's not technically hacking.
I'm going to do bypass.
Okay. Roll your power test. And I will give you a bonus of 2 because you have an actual object that can access it.
It's 17 before that bonus.
Oh yeah, you own the CCTV, so you rapidly download the You rapidly download the footage, cut it to after those guys have left, and then loop it.
Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna head in.
Is anyone else heading in?
I will also head in because I am hearing none of this conversation with being outside the vehicle.
Perfect.
Oh, we don't have okay.
I mean, you do, but
Gotcha.
yeah. So you, it's easy enough to tell where the main entrance to the lab is.
Right.
It's a big, like, 2-story metal door.
Mm-hmm.
But it's typical kind of Alliance. You just need to go up and scan your, ping it with your Omni tool to get it to open. And Zortan can get you the code. And with the control over the, I'm just gonna lower my thing. With the control over the cameras, Zortan, I'm gonna say, since you rolled so high, you can even like direct the view such that Phalanx can't be seen. So as long as Phalanx stands a little bit away, if anyone's looking at the feed from the interior security system, they'll just see a single person approaching and pinging as you should. So, is that what you do?
Okay. Phalanx, you can come, but you have to be a bit behind. Like if I'm going down a hallway, you stay behind in that hallway and make sure it's clear first. Like that way, if I run into anybody or there's people, I will talk to them and you will be out of sight, but close enough that you can reinforce if needed. Deal?
I will be on the ceiling of the hallway. Got it.
Creepy.
Okay.
They can't see
Compromise.
me.
True.
I mean, they can if they look up, but
Who looks up? Humans don't even do that.
it's we'll see.
I mean, technically that's dogs, but whatever.
Luckily, there's, only 4 guards in theory if that guy's intel was right, so I think we can handle it.
Yes.
Should we have Zortan lock down the facility when we enter?
As far as you know from the guard, it's a manual lockdown process from within, from the guard station. So it might require someone to actually physically interface. Don't know.
The biggest issue here is if it is a normal facility.
Yeah.
Because then it's like we locked down, shook down all these people, but yeah, whatever.
So.
All right. We're headed in. Phalanx apparently is on the roof like the damn grudge.
Yeah. Up on the top, ready to crawl through the top of the door when it opens. So, you approach. You ping. There's a moment as this like little disc of light that's orange spins and then turns green, and then the doors open. And what you see in front of you is a like a nice like lobby. There's like a little high-tech desk. There are some seats around a few tables. There are some lovely plants. It's well appointed. There's some art on the walls. There are twin staircases going up to a second floor that then connects to the next module back. Like maybe offices. It is empty, with the exception of an Atlas mech.
Oh. A manned Atlas mech?
Well, I will say we fade to black and to be continued as the mech powers up and goes ka-chunk towards you guys. So,
okay.
that's
Great.
where we'll stop. Hinty made his willpower test and did hit the stuff's not good on his Omni tool.
I hope he gets eaten by a spider bear.
And he will, don't worry.
Yeah, he's definitely dead. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Poor Julio is not long for this world, but he was able to give his friends a few minutes worth of warning so they could unpack an Atlas mech. Yeah, so that'll be fun. Probably some time for some ultra powerful biotics.
Well, good thing it's immediately, because Zortan can get hit. I mean, not super fast, but
Yes.
he's not too far.
Yes.
yes.
Yes. It's only a few yards. So you can run if you want, or you can come crashing in the vehicle. That would be cool. Just crash through the wall. You have actually, no, I think 2 weeks to think about it. I forgot what our schedule is. I think this one.
Well, yeah, next week. would
Yeah,
be
'cause Thanksgiving.
so-
Oh, because Thanksgiving. Yeah, duh. I was like, there's some reason that we skipped next
Yeah.
week.
I
What
work
would that
Thanksgiving,
be?
so I had a
Thanksgiving.
law enforcement shift.
Ah, yes. All right, cool. Well, hopefully you guys playing and you guys in chat have a feel for a little bit of a feel for the system. And it is a bit more mechanical than some of our other games, but hopefully you can see how, although it does facilitate more gritty combat, it's still kind of designed around more of a cinematic feel. So, hey, Juice is here. Hi, Juice.
Oh, now he's here.
Good timing, bud.
Yeah. All right.
Maybe next time.
maybe next time you guys will get blown to bits by an Atlas mech. We shall see. In case you all die in the first few minutes of the next episode, why don't you give it your best shot to introduce yourself, remind everyone who you are and where you can be found over the next couple of weeks. Starting again with Backwin.
I am the Backwin, and I can be found on the Backwin at twitch.tv. I play Friday games. However, on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I will be on Tuff's channel for her streamiversary, playing Masks.
Oh, yay.
Love that.
Yes. Soup's excited. What playset have you chosen? Do you know?
I am the Janus.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Very Spider-Man feel. Awesome. Cadet.
I'm Cat Daddy Boo. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram by that handle. I'm on a little bit of a streaming hiatus, so you won't see me at my channel for a while, but you will see me out and about among the supporters of C Plus Content's channels. Yeah, and that's it.
Beautiful. SJ.
I'm SJ_sidekick. I'm SJ_sidekick everywhere except for where they don't allow an underscore, in which case it's just SJ sidekick. Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, any of those places, always the same handle.
Lovely. And I am Michael, or Zero Daylight. If you want to track me down, the best place to do that is on Twitter at Zero Daylight. You can also follow the C Plus Content Twitter at C Plus Content, mostly for updates on upcoming games and maybe a few polls and some go live announcements, etc. But if you really are curious about our content, probably the best way to do it is twofold or threefold. One, if you are not currently following this channel, you probably should, so that you can be notified when we're live again. Two, you can go and follow our youtube.com/C Plus Content. Hit the little bell so that you can be notified when there's new content, because in case our various games don't sync up with your schedule, you can always catch it about a day or two later on the VOD. And you can also get caught up in all of our other games that we've already recorded or that are currently in process and coming toward conclusion. And if you really are interested or want to share feedback or want to get to know these nerds a little bit better, or want to spend way too much time talking about Star Wars or Star Trek or Mass Effect lore, soon to be introducing the Stargate universe into our fun little game. So there's lots of opportunity to nerd out about various different IPs. You can join our Discord. Upcoming, we have, I believe it is this Saturday, we will be wrapping up those Meddling Kids, our Monsters of the Week actual play. That is a similar system to Masks. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse game, but it is like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Scooby-Doo and the gang, investigating a murderous spirit in a little town and the kind of sorceress mastermind behind whatever plot is afoot. On Sunday, I will be running a session of Season 2 of our long-running D&D 5e campaign at the Justice TV program and the Licity channel. And then on Tuesday, we will be starting the first of three, a limited series of Oracles of Dune, which is a 2D20, Modifius 2D20 rule sets in the Dune universe. It is, for those of you who have seen our Star Trek Pioneer show, it is a very similar rule set, but customized for the, customized for the Dune universe. So if you've just seen that movie and want to see a little bit of a prequel, maybe get a little bit more lore about that, come and join us on Tuesday. I think that may overlap with Tuff's Mask game. Keep them both open and then go check the one that you are watching less of out on the VOD later. I think that's a good thing to do. And then we have many other games coming up, not so many on Thanksgiving Day, but lots of stuff between now and the end of the year, and then already putting plans together for what we do at the start of 2022. And signups are open. All that's required is that you enjoy TTRPGs. You don't have to be a TTRPG expert. You don't have to have played a lot. Really, all you have to do is enjoy collaborative storytelling and rolling a few dice, have a decent camera and video setup, and be nice and likable and cooperative. So somehow Cat Dad made it through the he snuck in under the wire. No, we let Cat Dad in because we like Squeezy. She's very nice. Yes. But anyway, right. So that is the first of 3 planned episodes of Mass Effect Spectres. Come and join us in a couple of weeks for the second episode as these folks find a way not to die. Awesome. Who shall we raid? I'm happy to take suggestions. We've got some good friends of the show that are currently live. We've got Zilla Sam is playing Borderlands 2. We have Licity playing Back 4 Blood, which is very much fun to watch. We have Skeletor doing Watch Party. Skeletor is amazing. And we have Psycho Mom doing Ori and the Blind Forest. We just rated Psycho Mom a couple days ago. So anyone in chat or anyone on the cast have any preferences about where we go next?
How recently? I'll just go with whoever you haven't rated the most recently.
I think Lissa is ending soon.
Lissa's ending soon, and I don't think we've ever rated Skeletora. So let's hit Skeletora.
She's just doing a watch party.
Okay.
She's not actually streaming. She's just got like Amazon Prime on.
Zan's only been on for an hour and a half, so he's probably streaming a little longer.
Perfect. Let's hit Zam. I believe Zam is most likely running Stream Raiders as well. So if you play Stream Raiders, the wonderful Captain TV product that a certain friend of ours is a member of the development team on, that is a good opportunity for you to go and place some units. Is it /raid or raid/?
/raid.
Perfect.
Slash is always the first thing in the line.
I don't know, man. I only do this like 3 times a week. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Cool. See if this works. Awesome. It appears to be working. Cool. Again, thanks everybody. Thanks you guys for rolling into an unfamiliar system and having fun with it, hopefully. And yeah, we will see you all again in a couple of weeks as we continue the story. Bye, everybody. We are rating.